As we celebrate Veterans Day, we're also celebrating high school playoff football. CIF Southern Section Football Division 5 playoffs. It's going to be Los Osos Grizzlies against the Lawndale Cardinals. Good evening, everybody. From Lawndale High School, I'm Lou Stowers along with Darius Jackson. And what a game this is going to be. Even though Los Osos has a 2-3 record in the Baseline League, if you know high school football, the Baseline League is big.
You're talking about a league where it has Upland High School, Rancho Cucamonga in there, Etiwanda. It's a very, very tough league in there. Los Osos, this has been a phenomenal year because last year they were 1-9. So you're talking about them going 5-5 this year, getting back into the playoff mix. They're going to go ahead and play all out right now against one of the best teams we've covered all year with Lawndale. It's going to be a good matchup, Lou.
And speaking of Lawndale, let's go back to last week and talk to Tony Long, who covered Hawthorne and Lawndale. And covering Los Osos tonight, thank you very much, Tony, for that report, is Tolly Anderson. And Tolly, you talked to Grizzly head coach Alex Pierce, and it seems like the Grizzlies have really come together under him.
They really have. They are 5-5 overall, and this is their first time coming to a playoffs in 5 years. They do have a large team. They're very excited to be here tonight. They're healthy, and I believe it's going to be a good ball game.
That's right, Darius, and the Grizzlies dress 65, so nobody plays both ways on this team.
Part of Lawndale's success, they've been taking advantage of a lot of teams having both players playing both sides of the ball, they're playing offense and defense. This time they have a player for each position that's not going to be going both sides for the Los Osos Grizzlies, so it's going to be able to make these guys last all throughout the whole entire game without them tiring out. But once again, Lawndale, let's not kid ourselves. They are a juggernaut.
But we're going to find out to see how Lawndale can handle this Baseline team with a running back that has 2,000 yards again this year and an offense that can score almost 500 points in 10 games and only give up 73.
Yeah, you know what? They're still getting ready for playoffs right now, but want to talk about one thing. They ended the season on a 70-point win. These guys are still very high off that. Coach Clark talked about the film work that they did, and they watched this team, and they said, this is going to be a tough team for them. It's going to be one of their biggest tests, and everybody knows everybody gets up for the playoffs. Rankings don't matter. Best team, people who say this and that about certain teams, it doesn't matter anymore. They're going up against a team who is very respectable, like Darius talked about, in a very, very healthy conference over there with a lot of kids who can play. So they'll have their hands full tonight.
And Sebastian Spencer will be covering the Cardinals sideline tonight. And before we kick it off, I just want to tell you, we all want to tell you, thank you very much to all of our veterans here, and thank all of the veterans that are near and dear to you tonight. Coming up next is Los Osos Grizzlies and the Lawndale Cardinals. We're going to kick off the Division 5 playoffs. Coming up next on CityTV Sports.
Hi, I'm Donnell Beverly from the University of Connecticut, home of the 2011 National Championship Yukon Huskies basketball team, and you're losing your Olympians.
Beverly around the back, follow a jumper, good, beautiful shot.
It wasn't too long ago that I was playing basketball right here.
I just want to thank him for having me here. I'm honored to play here.
And the Huskies are the top dog in 2011.
Winning the NCAA championship has always been a goal of mine, but so is getting a great education that will last me a lifetime. You can achieve your goals too. All you have to do is work hard and dream hard, and you can do anything you put your mind to.
Back upstairs with Darius Jackson. I'm Lou Stowers, and we're just about ready to do the coin toss. And we had a very emotional rendition of our national anthem sung by Rebecca Rowano. And it is Veterans Day today and tomorrow. And The Cardinals are about ready to come on, and boy, I tell you, I want to thank all those veterans again for allowing us to do what we do and watch what we watch.
It doesn't get any better than this, especially having veterans fighting for this country and allowing us to go ahead and watch some beautiful Friday night lights. It is playoff time, Lou, and I hope you're ready as much as I am. I'm ready to get this thing going.
Get ready to get this party started. Here come the Grizzlies wearing their road white uniforms and navy blue trim. And they're going to get ready for the Cardinals coming on the field. And they have an insignia, a logo, at the 50-yard line. One team is undefeated. The other team has tasted defeat 5 times.
I'll tell you what, though, it's definitely a big improvement of last year. With them being 5-5 this year, 4 more wins that they had last year, being 1-9, tasting getting back into the playoffs since 2000, I believe, 2012. It's been 5 years since the Grizzlies are back in the playoffs, so you could tell that whole entire alumni is excited for them to be back in the playoff mix, Lou.
And they love their football in the Inland Empire. You know that, playing for Roosevelt High School.
Inland Empire, such tough schools out there. You're going from their league alone with the baseline league is already tough. You're talking about Upland, Rancho Cucamonga, Etiwanda, even Chino Hills. Okay, now I know Etiwanda and Chino Hills, they didn't have their years of dominance like I'm used to going ahead and see, but that just tells you how stacked that league is alone.
And let's go out to the 50-yard line where the coin toss is being tossed right now. The microphone is not on up here. Referee is Alex Lee, talking to the captains, Jalen Hamler. And let's see who won the toss. At any rate, we know that Los Osos is going to be receiving the ball and protecting the goal to our left, which is the west goal. So maybe, I mean, that's the modus operandi of Lawndale.
Yeah, it is. With that kicker of Lawndale, Axel Perez. Honestly, I think it takes a hurricane in order for him to slow down his kicks, Lou.
Sheesh. Unless it was snowing, I don't know what could.
We're used to seeing him just kicking it, launching it into the end zone. Well, we got Los Osos with their quarterback, Brett Cabral. They're very high on him. He's a good-sized kid, 6'3" senior. He's going to be leading their offense out there against this physical Lawndale defense. You're talking about a defense stacked with Terrence Simon Jr., Stanley Livingstone, Michaela Steen, Naki Fahina. List goes on how many talented players are on this Lawndale defense, and we're used to seeing this defense dominate. So Brett Cabral, he has a tough task ahead of him, Lou.
He sure does. And Naki Fahina is going to be wearing number 50 tonight and also going to be playing guard. He actually volunteered to play guard tonight. Number 11, Almani Bishop, is on the far side for the Grizzlies, and Andrew Walker to the near side.
I think Naki just has he's an addict when it comes to just hitting guys left and right. So he says, hey, why not put me on offense? I want to continue to hit guys. Don't put me on the sideline when the defense is off the field.
Comes Alex Perez, a high kick. It's going to stay in the ballpark, and it's picked up by Bishop. Look out for Bishop. He is past everybody and going all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. Any flags on the field? It doesn't look like it. Yes, there is at the 45-yard line of Los Osos. And boy, what a run back by Almani Bishop.
What a way to go ahead and electrify the whole entire crowd for Los Osos along the sideline with their teammates. But we have a penalty flag on the play.
On the 45-yard line of Los Osos, near their sideline. And Alex Lee is talking to his, let's see if we can see Alex Lee's signal.
It's being called back.
The foul.
It's going to be holding.
It's going to be first down.
So it's going to be 10 yards back from the spot of the foul. Still some good position for Los Osos, but man, it would have been awesome for them to go ahead and get this quick score right there. But Brett Cabral, he's a guy I'm looking forward to seeing. Quarterback number 10 is going to be leading this offense.
Cabral hands the ball off, and that's to Jorgensen, their vaunted runner. And so Los Osos gets an 8-yard gain right off the bat.
It's always a story when it comes to city teams versus inland teams. It's different style of football. A lot more talent coming from the inland area. And you can see here already 8 yards on the first run.
And there goes Pinkston. That's Simon Jr., Terrence Simon, I believe, got the sack on that one.
Terrence Simon Jr. How used to calling his name are you, Lou?
Very used to it.
He is just an absolute animal out there on the field, getting the sack.
And another run by Jorgensen, and he gets that 8 yards back. So he gained 8, lost 8, and now 8 back. So it's 4th down and 2.
Unfortunately, a penalty is what stopped Los Osos from the touchdown on the kickoff. They had a good run to start off on first down, but they took a sack on second down. It's that sort of self-destructing right there on that first drive for Los Osos. With Lawndale, you can't do that against Lawndale. You got to be disciplined against Lawndale. You got to have less penalties, and obviously can't take any plays behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, Monty Bishop, actually, no, that's the quarterback, Brett Cabral, punting the ball. Mikhail Esteen looks at a Los Osos bounce, and it's going to be down there by Jaden Sandoval at about the 22-yard line. So Los Osos has shot themselves in the foot, and much to the delight or much to the relief of Lawndale.
We did see a lot of Kyle Jorgensen the first drive for Los Osos. A couple weeks ago, he was actually named one of the IE Top 10 Players of the Week with a Top 10 play. So expect to see a lot of Kyle Jorgensen from the Los Osos side as well on the offensive side. But here comes this Lawndale offense with Jordan Wilmore running back. And, oh, boy, I'm excited to see what he's going to be doing here in the playoffs.
And let's see if Coach Travis has anything up his sleeve. Looks like they're just going to go. Oh, Wilmore is hit in the backfield, back of the 15-yard line, breaks a tackle, and continues to break tackles. And that could have been a disastrous 10-yard loss, but Jordan Wilmore in his strength makes it only a 1-yard loss.
Leave it to Jordan Wilmore to make a 1-yard loss looking like the best 1-yard loss ever. What a way to go ahead and prevent disaster from Jordan Wilmore. Surprising to see this offensive line from Lawndale getting blown up, but got to give credit to Los Osos. They're coming out firing. As we see here, great penetration from number 5, Connor Helsius, and he was able to go ahead and get past by Lawndale linemen, disrupting their run. And it's 2nd and 11, something that we're really not used to seeing here.
Not at all. Jalen Hamler is under center, and they give it to Wilmore, who had a fullback, and Wilmore gets enough for the first down. So they're hitting the mouth back.
It's going to be a physical football game. I can already tell. It doesn't get any better than this when you see nothing but physical football here in the month of November. But we see Jordan Wilmore taking the carry. It's going to be hard to take him down. And I believe his own teammate, Keon Pinkston, took him down as he's still trying to push him forward to get the first down. Got to love it. Got to love it here.
All right, so it's first and 10 for the Cardinals at their own 37-yard line. Handoff straight up the middle. Wilmore looking for a hole, tries to go around the right side and still runs for a couple of yards.
Awesome swarm defense from the Grizzlies. As we see Jordan Wilmore he's going to be fighting for every yard. The past couple weeks we've been seeing him taking a break. They come out, Lawndale the past couple weeks has been coming out with some big time leads. He's able to grab his rest, but we see here on the replay, look at him grabbing his jersey. Yep. He's going to have to be playing football all 4 quarters this game, Lou.
And that's number 45, Keyshawn Clark, a defensive lineman, a defensive end. And they really depend on him. Also, Connor Helsius, like you said, one of the linebackers. He's the defensive guy for Alex Pierce. Travis Clark calling a timeout right away with 7:38 left to go in the first quarter.
Bizarre to go ahead and see a timeout, early timeout from Coach Clark. Such a good coach. It looks like he wants to try to go ahead and just keep his team calm and composed. It is the playoffs, so there's probably a lot of excitement out there, and sometimes you need to take an early timeout to calm everybody down. Let's go to Los Osos side, though. They got a lot of beef at that line of scrimmage. We just called Connor Helsius a couple plays ago. They're matching up his size against this Lawndale offensive line. He's at 220, and in the previous player with Keyshawn Clark, almost at 250s, sitting at 245. So they got the beef to go ahead and match up against this Lawndale offensive line, Lou.
And the speed as well. They're not as big as Lawndale, but you still have 290, a senior. That's Matthew Williams. And then Kendall Jones and Brandon Trejo, they come in at 280. 275 is Brandon Funky. And he's going to get funky as well at 6'5", 275.
Oh, boy. They got some mammoths out there, and it's going to be a clash of the Titans right here.
Man in motion in front of Hamler. And hands off over the left side, and being drugged down is Wilmore by Keyshawn Clark.
Keyshawn Clark once again in the middle of the play here. I think did we just see him take him down with just his one arm as he was falling to the ground?
Like a vice grip or a bulldog on his shirt.
He sure had a hard grip on Jordan Wilmore, not able to let him go. As we see Jordan Wilmore able to go ahead and get still a good gain on this run. And look at Keyshawn not letting go. Keyshawn Clark just holding on, letting his teammates swarm around. Well, and that's what I call swarm defense.
Man, he's 5'11", 245. So that was a 6-yard gain for Wilmore. 3rd and 2. Man in motion is Esteen, and Wilmore gets it on a funky handoff, and Wilmore breaks free down to the 30, the 20, 10, 5, touchdown Lawndale.
It was only a matter of time, Lou, I guess, because he had to go ahead and fight for this touchdown. And then eventually we're used to seeing Jordan Wilmore break away for a big touchdown run. Way to go ahead and continue to stick with the game plan with Coach Clark, pounding it with Jordan Wilmore. They are a very physical team, and you just got to go ahead and be an out-physical Lawndale. And right here on this play, look at this burst of speed, pulling away.
And a blowout break blocked by Keon Pinkston. So Wilmore with a 55-yard touchdown run.
Looks like there's a penalty flag on the play. Someone might have moved early.
Might be on the offense.
Yep. I always say when an offensive line, when you see a hole that big for your running back to run through, running back and offensive line, they should be the best of friends. Yeah, I say that running back should buy each of their offensive line a lunch every single time they have a hole created that big for them. Oh, boy.
And it comes again.
I think it's on.
Is that Los Osos this time?
Yeah, I think the Grizzlies,
dead ball, encroachment on the defense.
So they get it back.
Yep. So our sloppiest football play so far has been on an extra point.
So Alex Perez, who was 10 out of 11 in PATs last week against Hawthorne. Cobbin with a nice hold and a good snap from Sebastian Martinez, and it's true and through. 6:40 left to go in the first quarter, 7-0. in favor of Lawndale on the 55-yard run by Jordan Wilmore. 5 plays in just over 3 minutes.
Yeah, you see the past couple of weeks we were seeing the offense sort of getting started through the air, but now that the playoffs have started, you can see Coach Clark looks like he was wanting to rest up Wilmore for the playoffs, and we saw where he did leave the games a couple early the past 2 weeks, resting him up for the playoffs, and we see where you're going to need Jordan Wilmore here, breaking away with a phenomenal touchdown run as we see in, I think, all 5 plays, Lou. I believe that they gave them to him all 5 plays.
Yeah, they did. They didn't no pass tries, attempts. And just reading the stat sheet, Jordan Wilmore has 2,009 yards. So a second 2,000-yard season, and he still has another year to go. And also with 29 touchdowns. So the ball is caught and down by Michael Sabah of Los Osos. So it'll be 1st and 10, and that's going to be at the 20-yard line.
Axel Perez, he could do it all. If you need him to kick it to the end zone, he will. If you need him to do a pooch kick to maybe throw off the special teams, which obviously Coach Clark not liking what he saw in his return team, so which is why they're going for this pooch kick, leaving almost a big turnover play right there for the Grizzlies. Luckily, he was able to go jump on and recover it.
Back comes Brett Cabral, the 6'3 senior, and Jake Cabral is a 6 foot, 220-pound sophomore, and he's the center. So the ball is handed off. And Connor Helsius with carrying the ball that time.
Connor Helsius, we did call his name. He made a really good play on the defensive side. Looks like he's part of their offensive game plan, being one of their running backs. And they're coming with the trips formation here.
Pitch back, and sliding down on the grass is Kyle Jorgensen, and could be a loss. That's a loss of 3 yards, Darius. So it'll be 3rd down and 13.
Taking the pitch. Jorgensen just lost his footing there, slipping on this grass. I believe in Los Osos they have turf field, so he probably just got a little bit too stubborn with his grass.
Well, this is the first game that the Grizzlies have played on grass. Everywhere else they've played, it's on turf.
Unbelievable. You have a lot of turf fields out there in the Inland Empire,
yeah,
especially with those schools.
With the water restrictions we had during the drought.
Makes a lot of sense, too.
Offside on.
So something that we're not used to really seeing is Lawndale being a little bit on the undisciplined side, giving Los Osos some really good field position. They're still sticking with the run after that, and they stopped him for 4th down, so a 3 and out for the Lawndale Cardinals. Looks like we're starting to see classic Lawndale football right now, coming off of a big play from Jordan Wilmore, following up with a 3 and out for the defense. And now they're going to give the ball back to Jordan Wilmore. And here's the punt.
Oh, it's a bad one.
It is.
Out of bounds at about the 50-yard line. And so it's going to be in Los Osos territory. Let's see where.
It's going to be, they're marking it at the 45-yard line of Los Osos. And now you're going to give this offense only just 45 yards to go ahead and score a touchdown. And already this game is sort of favoring the Lawndale Cardinals now. Taking an early 7-0 lead. You got Jordan Wilmore looking like he's getting going. So now it's up to this Los Osos defense to see if they could go ahead and stop the vaunted Lawndale Cardinals offense.
Hamler back to pass, and he's going to go for the end zone on one play, but just overthrows Joshua Pittman. Might have gotten a little more air underneath it. And that was Hamler's first pass of the night.
One thing we see from Jalen Hamler throughout the season that they do like to take shots down the field. He will throw the ball deep, but right here, he had his feet set, but just sailed a little bit too much on Joshua Pittman, not able to connect there. But that was only his first pass of the game, so got to get him going, especially with the weather, how cool it is outside.
So 2nd and 10 to give the ball off to Wilmore. Wilmore dancing his way and eluding tackles. Seems like the only guy who can grab a hold of him
There's a penalty flag on the play.
is Clark. And let's see what the penalty is about.
I believe it's a face mask from what I saw. Yep, it's going to be a face mask on the Grizzlies. So now they're giving the Cardinals more yards. And that's this. We've seen this time after time when teams pile up on the penalties. Cardinals, they take advantage of it and they pull away. This is turning into one of them vintage Lawndale Cardinals games this year.
So if it was from the spot of the foul was on the 40-yard line. So give 5 yards to Wilmore.
There's a big man. I was waiting to see a Terrence Simon Jr. carry. Only was at the line of scrimmage, so Los Osos did a really good job plugging up the holes. And Terrence Simon, he's not fancy at all. All he wants to do is just do a ground and pound running style. Fortunately for the Grizzlies, though, that they were able to plug up the holes, and that beef that they have down in the middle was able to stop Terrence Simon Jr., something that we're really not used to seeing Terrence Simon getting stopped at the line of scrimmage.
And he's playing fullback, but he did get a yard. Man in motion is Anthony Williams III. Hamler hands it straight off up the middle. That goes to Jonathan Watson, and Watson moves the pile down towards the 20-yard line.
So right now we're seeing 2 different running backs taking the carries. This time it's Jonathan Watson, who was able to find a little crease in the hole. His offensive line helping him. You can see you can see number 72, Robert Crew Fafita, giving a nice effort there, still keeping him up, pushing him forward, and you got the Cardinals right now in a 3rd and very manageable situation with a 3rd and 4.
That 3rd and 4, and that's going to be at the 18-yard line. Estienne in motion. Ball is given to Watson. Watson dancing his way. Should be enough for a first down around the 10-yard line.
And it is enough for a first down, and we see some change of pace right here. I believe Jordan Wilmore, he did take a handful of carries already to start off this game, so he's probably catching a break on the sideline. Even when the Cardinals were on defense following his touchdown run, it was a quick 3 and out. But here we see Jonathan Watson taking that carry, making sure he gets the yards there and getting that first down. Much needed.
And, yeah, keeping Jordan Wilmore fresh. I don't see him on the sidelines. So, yeah, he's here. Well, maybe he was a little dinged up, but now the ball is handed off to Watson again, and he's manhandled by Matthew Williams III. Thrown like a sack of potatoes out there.
Solid carry, getting about a gain of 5 yards on the play for Watson. And we've seen him every now and then, especially when Jordan Wilmore, when he was pulled from games. We saw a lot of Jonathan Watson throughout the season. He's a scat back. He will get a lot of yards. He has very quick feet as well. So don't be surprised if Jonathan Watson breaks another one too.
Power I formation. The ball goes to Watson. Watson trying to follow his fullback, Terrence Simon Jr., down to about the 2.5, 3-yard line.
It's just nothing but power football that we are seeing so far, Lou. Look at this. Look at Los Osos answering right back. They gave it 5 yards on first down. Now they're stopping them at the line of scrimmage. This is physical football. This is football. This is playoff football, Lou.
Sure is. And how about Damian Gutierrez, the left guard? There you see number 50. That's Naki Fahina.
Here comes Jordan Wilmore. He's back out there.
Wilmore.
Gets great play design.
Oh, my goodness. That was a play fake.
Great.
And Jordan Hamler fooled us into the end zone. Touchdown, Lawndale.
What a great play design from Coach Clark himself, and able to use the running ability of Jalen Hamler on that quarterback keeper. Great play design there. They've been doing the whole entire game, ground and pound. So this time they switch it up. You got Jordan Wilmore back there. Everybody thinks that, even including us up here in the booth, thinks that Wilmore's going to get the ball. Hamler keeps it, rolls out, and he has that mobility to get into the end zone. And just like that, it's 13-0 Cardinals.
Alex Perez Waiting for the snap from Martinez and the hold by Cobbin, but flag on the play.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still replay the try.
See most of our penalties coming from these extra points.
Yeah.
Maybe they just want to make it a little bit tougher for Axel Perez. Maybe they just, he's been having it easy all year, so let's go ahead and make these extra points a little bit tougher for him.
From the 17-yard line, so it'll be a 27-yard attempt. Boy, is that good? Yep, it is. It snuck through the right side. So that's just as good as a field goal, right?
It is. And
he doesn't have a field goal attempt all season because you got guys like Wilmore.
Always scoring touchdowns, and this is what the Cardinals do. They score nothing but touchdowns. They never settle for less, actually. I keep saying it. Coach Clark gives me a Bill Belichick mentality. He reminds me of Bill Belichick. That is, he never will go for a field goal if they're in the red zone and it's 4th and 2, 4th and 1. Nope, we got Jordan Wilmore in the backfield. We're going to use our talents. We're going to get that first down. We're going to get touchdowns, and this is what they do.
Certainly is. And over on the sideline, we have Keon Pinkston sitting on the trainer's table. But I'm sure he's fine. I don't even think a truck coming down the 405 could have hurt him. Minute 29 left to go in the first quarter, 14-0, a 7-play drive, and that went 45 yards in 7 plays. Hamler with a 3-yard touchdown, and Perez kicks it straight up again. A fair catch called for. It was dropped. And did Lawndale pick it up? It was a muff, it looked like, by a number 8 who we don't have on our team.
Yep, they got a fumble, was not able to catch it, but he muffed it and was able to recover it. Luckily enough for the Grizzlies, otherwise it would have been just disaster. But how about Coach Clark? He's not taking any more chances from what we saw in the opening kickoff. He says, nope, we're going to be doing these pooch kickers. They dropped it the first time, and they dropped it once again. So who knows? Maybe the next Lawndale touchdown, they might get away with that one. They might catch their big break. But that is just great adjustment from Coach Clark. Just a phenomenal coach.
He sure is. And he's just like a coach. He doesn't think he's going to win another game. That's more like a basketball coach.
Every time we interview him after every single win this season, he always made it seem like this team lost.
That's right. They're on a 10-game losing streak. Cabral looking down the sideline. There's a push.
Oh, boy. That's a penalty.
And a retaliation. First there was a push by Andrew Walker, but then Mikael Esteen tackled him. And that's going to be pass interference. But he retaliated. If we see it on the replay, you can see Andrew Walker with a push. But he didn't get caught.
Pass interference. 19 on the defense. 15-yard penalty. The result of the play, first down.
I know he called it on Albert Cobbin, but this was on Mikael Esteen. Sometimes maybe pass interferences are necessary. As we see here, there was nobody that was going to be able to go ahead and stop Andrew Walker if he would have went down with that. He had nothing but grass in front of him, and sometimes, hey, you got to give up penalties, but great play call from the Grizzlies.
And here comes Jorgensen. Jorgensen going through a couple of blocks, one by Jake Cabral
Take it down.
Brandon Funky. And a nice gain of about 7 yards.
Reason why that going deep in the first play of the drive was awesome is that it keeps the defense honest. And we see now the Grizzlies keeping now the Cardinals defense honest, is pushing back their secondary, allowing them to go ahead and pick up a solid 8 yards from Kyle Jorgensen.
And the reverse to the receiver, Noah Bach. And that's going to be good enough for a first down if there's no flags.
No flags here. All on the extra points is where we see our flags. Yes, we look at this. Noah Bach, what a nice reverse there. Some trickery. We see Terrence Simon unable to make the play there. He's just a little confusing. That's a good strategy, is to throw off Terrence Simon. He fell for the trickery. That led to a Grizzlies first down.
6 yards on the play, and back to pass is Cabral. Nice save on that as coming through was Tuli Tui Peloto, but a nice block on the play by a number 65 who we don't have on our roster, on our list. But
Cabral should have hit Dante Staton Jr. on that one. Nice rollout, but Cabral just never had his feet set, and look at the ball coming out, all wobbly. He was just very uncomfortable making that pass, and he had Staton Jr. on that one.
did I mention that Tolley is playing with a broken hand? He broke it last week against Hawthorne. And
Yes,
there came the Wild Cardinals, along with Naki Fahina.
He's pulling off his inner Jason Pierre-Paul impression with the cast in his hand, I say.
Well, he's got all of his fingers, though. A 1-yard gain, and it's 3rd down and 9 as the quarter comes to an end.
Nice swing pass.
Jorgensen may have gotten the first down. Esteen with the tackle, and let's see where they mark the ball.
I think they got it. Yep, they got the first down. What a way to end the quarter for the Grizzlies. They much needed first down, as we see Cabral having all the time in the world. He was comfortable this time making a throw to Kyle Jorgensen. And Jorgensen, as I mentioned earlier, a couple weeks ago, being one of the top 10 IE players with the week he had, making a play here, extending the drive. So it's a first down for the Grizzlies, but it is the end of the first quarter with the Lawndale Cardinals up 14-0.
So that was a 10-yard gain for a first down, and the second pass so now it's a 1 out of 3, I should say, for Cabral. Jordan Wilmore tonight has 6 runs, 6 carries, 66, 76, 78, 77 yards on 6 carries and a touchdown.
So wait, he's on pace for another 200-yard game, almost a 300-yard game for crying out loud.
And the handoff goes up the middle to Jorgensen.
As Jorgensen once again, good solid gain there, about 4 yards. It's much needed for the Grizzlies. They must score a touchdown this drive. The thing about them is that, yes, they were 5-5, but they have allowed more points in the season than they scored. They've got destroyed by Upland. They got destroyed by Rancho Cucamonga. So some of the games that they lost, it was blown out of proportion. And the Cardinals, we are known for doing this.
Keon Pinkston was being blocked by the offensive lineman, and so he tackled both Jorgensen and the lineman. And that was a carry by Noah Bach. Let's go down to Tolley.
Grizzly Bears on this field right now, very aggressive, very energized, maybe a little too excited. I don't believe Alex Pierce expect them to have 14 on the board already. That's Lawndale, of course. And, of course, it's still a long game, so maybe some things will change, but they do need to calm down a little bit with all the players that they have.
Thanks, Tolley, and a completed pass over on the far side to Donta Stanton Jr. And that's good enough for a Grizzly first down.
He missed Staton Jr. on the first play where he tried attempting to throw to him, but this time he connects with Staton Jr. Staton Jr. has been able to get open a couple times there. That'll just be another weapon added to this offense for the Grizzlies, and they move the chains. And I believe that the Grizzlies are knocking on the door in the red zone.
And they're on the 22-yard line. That was a 10-yard gain. Running right into the scrum is Jorgensen. Getting up off the bottom of the pile is Tuli Tui Peloto.
Tui Peloto making them in the middle. I remember my days of being down in the middle of that scrum. You see Jorgensen taking the carry. And Tui Peloto, yep. It's never really the best feeling to be down there in the pile or where everybody's just as equally as big as you.
Especially when you've got a broken arm.
Exactly. Oh, boy.
Yep, the center got knocked on his can. That's baby brother Jake Cabral. So that's 5 for the Grizzlies.
55, 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Can you imagine that?
Keon Pinkston got a little bit too excited on that play. And a little bit shocker there is because this Cardinals defense, they don't like giving up yards, whether it's in play or whether it's penalties. They don't like giving up yards, period, and they just gave them an easy 5 yards for the Grizzlies.
So that's at the 17-yard line now. Cabral with a nice pass over to the near sideline from the far side, and taken out of bounds is Andrew Walker.
Andrew Walker and McKellisteen, they've been going at it back and forth. Andrew Walker obviously creating the penalty on McKellisteen. McKellisteen had 6 interceptions throughout the whole entire season, and right now he has his hands full with Andrew Walker. Andrew Walker moving the ball, helping moving the ball for the Grizzlies. Everybody's contributing in this drive.
So a 12-yard gain and another first down.
Look for Staten Jr. again.
The ball comes in the other side and into the end zone. Touchdown, Grizzlies. But now we have probably an unsportsmanlike penalty.
That was Noah Bach there, but Staten Jr. was also wide open. So the Cardinals, they got to definitely circle on this play because every time they do a rollout, Staten Jr. is wide open. But great vision by Brett Cabral, seeing Noah Bach there, and they was able to connect for the touchdown. But it looks like here's an unsportsmanlike after the touchdown.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike contact on 18 White. Penalty will be on the kickoff.
And now trying to kick the extra point coming on is Hannah Moffitt. And Hannah is a girl. She's a girl. Brett Cabral will be holding. Number 63 is Jake Cabral. And Hannah is she's no girl out there. Wait a minute. Yes, she is.
Got some early movement now. What is with these extra
Dead
points?
Ball. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay the try.
Maybe still got some nerves.
I guess so. I guess teams are a little bit too emotional after a touchdown, and obviously with the unsportsmanlike, you could just tell. But Hannah, who would have thunk that Axel Perez, his biggest competition, is going to be a girl this year?
Oh, I have to give him some grief about that. But hey, she's pretty good.
Really
16
good.
out of 18, and boy, she kicks it high, true, and through. That was pretty.
That was pretty. As we said, Axel, looks like your competition today will be against a girl.
14-7 is our score. 9:25 left to go in the first half. And that was a long drive put together by the Grizzlies, and maybe they're getting their wings underneath their, well, I guess their paws underneath the grass underneath their paws.
Way to create some life for the Grizzlies now, cutting the deficit to 7 points, but that unsportsmanlike is going to go ahead and pin them back for this kickoff, and that's going to put the Cardinals in already good field position, and you're already having Jonathan Watson and Jordan Wilmore as returners. They're going to have to be very careful on this kickoff.
So a 12-play, 4-minute drive that covered 75 yards. Here comes the kickoff.
It's going to go to Jonathan Watson, which is a good decision.
Watson up near midfield, and we have a penalty flag thrown, and Watson is banged out of bounds at about the 45-yard line, but let's see what the flag is about.
Normally it's going to be on the receiving team, so it's going to be on the Cardinals, Lou. And that's the only way that was going to prevent the Cardinals from being in great field position would be a penalty, and there's a penalty on this kickoff.
Holding on the return team, number 7. 10-yard penalty. First down.
McKellisteen with the holding penalty. Looks like a lot of nerves out there for young Esteen. He's going to have to sort of calm down. That's what you're going to need to do. It is a playoffs, and tensions are usually high. Him and Andrew Walker definitely had a great battle this past drive for the Grizzlies.
Hamler hands the ball off to Wilmore. A kind of a late handoff, a delayed handoff, but some positive yardage, about 4 or 5 yards on the play. That was a weird developing handoff.
It looked like they almost looked like Hamler almost took too much of a step there, and you can see Coach Clark probably talking to him about it. It looked like they almost collided, and it was an awkward handoff, but they was able to go ahead and fix it up and get themselves 5 yards. It could have been a disaster play for them.
So it'll be 2nd down and 5. And again, the touchdown for Los Osos was a Cabral 5-yard pass to Bach. PAT was good by Moffitt. Wilmore in motion, so a naked backfield, and Wilmore. Hamler now throws, has a man open, and it is caught by Williams III. Anthony Williams cuts to the inside against the grain and breaks a tackle inside the 5-yard line, finally brought down by Almani Bishop. What a run by Anthony Williams III.
Beautiful catch and run. Look at that mouthpiece, vicious mouthpiece after a vicious catch from Anthony Williams. Only a sophomore contributing in this game right now. Hamler making a play on the run. And look at that pass. And then he did this on the run, rolling out. Anthony Williams taking it from there. Great vision, almost getting that touchdown. You know he wanted that touchdown, but great recovery from the Grizzlies, preventing them for that touchdown. But now you're putting them in a 1st and goal.
56-yard run. Wilmore gets towards the end zone, but then is grabbed from behind and brought back. And Angel Gonzalez with a big hit on Wilmore.
It's going to be ground and pound here when the ball is inside the 5. Jordan Wilmore taking the carry, and look at that. Sheesh, imagine running in there, Lou. How would you end up with? How many broken bones did you end up after running in there?
Almani Bishop was the man that Wilmore ran into initially. And now there's a handoff and into the end zone. Touchdown Cardinals.
I think that was a keeper. That was a keeper from Jalen Hamler for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game. Jalen Hamler making an early case. A great throw to go ahead and open up this drive, connecting with Anthony Williams, and then he takes it in for his 2nd touchdown run of the game. Jalen Hamler, who is also, he's a pretty good size, and if you're going to go ahead and follow up with that offensive line there, it's definitely a force coming at you.
6'2", 204-pound senior headed to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. And out of the hold of Albert Cobbin and the snap of Sebastian Martinez, Axel Perez kicks through the extra point with 7:27 left to go in the first half. It's 21-7 in favor of Lawndale in the first game of the CIF Southern Section playoffs in Division 5.
Good answer from the Cardinals after giving up a touchdown on defense. Definitely cutting down on the spirit from the Grizzlies, but I believe the Grizzlies, I think that they found something this past drive. They definitely were favoring the passing game a lot more, and that was something I was waiting to see was Brett Cabral. I was waiting for him to go ahead and sling it, which he did that last drive. They definitely got to go ahead and keep an eye on the rollouts for the Cardinals because that tends to go ahead and work a lot for them, and definitely McKellisteen is going to he has his hands full tonight with Andrew Walker. So we'll see how this defense responds back with the Grizzlies. Otherwise, we may be in for a shootout.
Alex Perez kicks the ball off, and there's your usual kick from Perez outside of the end zone, a line drive. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. And I guess Coach Clark said, heck with it. We're done. We don't want anybody hurt. Let's just give him the ball at the 20. Please, Mr. Perez.
Maybe Axel Perez got a little offended from what I said about Hannah being his biggest competition this year, so he wanted to go ahead and say, hey, Darius, look what I can still do.
Take
and
that.
He kicked it completely out of the field. So Axel Perez, okay, I got you. I understand what you're saying.
Cabral under center. Back split behind him, has a man in motion. Cabral goes the other way, keeping the ball, still looking downfield, fires, and almost caught, but the pass was almost caught by Sin-Q Jones and was intended also for someone else, or could have been someone else's ball a little bit earlier.
They're going back with the play action rollout, and that was well executed to disrupt the play from Lawndale, actually, from Thule. He was able to go ahead and disrupt that rollout, and that left Brett Cabral very uncomfortable on that pass, not able to hit the receiver. And I got him on the 2nd and 10.
2nd down and 10, handoff up the middle and nothing doing. A pack of wild Cardinals goes in there. Coming up off the top of the pile is Simon.
Grizzlies going with the ground and pound there.
And Fahina was there pulling backwards.
Met immediately, and look at that swarming defense. Swarming it up, and now it's a 3rd and 10. And this is the last thing you need for the Grizzlies to go 3 and out after Lawndale putting up a touchdown drive.
And a man was open. Actually, that was Donta Stanton, and he got by his man, who was had his head turned around.
So they're going with the play action rollout. They've been doing this all night as Brett Cabral trying to hit his receiver, Andrew Walker, with the back shoulder throw. Andrew, it hit his hands, not able to haul it in, and that would have been a big first down. And just like this, the Grizzlies go 3 and out.
High punts, kind of a knuckleball. Wilmore giving it a lot of room as it goes out of bounds at the Los Osos 49-yard line. Finally tapped out of bounds by Almonte Bishop with 6:29 left to go in the first half. And so Los Osos really needed to answer that one, but couldn't come up with the answer. The question is how to get it past this defense.
And the thing about it is that there was 2 incomplete passes that drive, and when there's incomplete passes, the clock does not run whatsoever. So that whole entire 3 and out drive, it only wasted not even probably a minute on that one. And now you're giving the Cardinals offense with less than 50 yards to go for a touchdown.
Power I formation. 1st and 10 from the Los Osos 49-yard line. Play action. Hamler looking down the middle. Beautiful spiral just out of the hands of Blackman. And he knows he probably should have had that one.
Jonathan Blackman, the speedster wide receiver, he had leverage, he had the speed. Jalen Hamler making a nice touch pass, settled in, making
look at that spiral.
throw. Beautiful rainbow, and Blackman had his defender beat for a couple yards. Maybe a little bit out of reach we see there. It looked like he initially dropped it, but it was just out of the reach from Blackman. He has phenomenal speed, but sometimes the thing that holds him back would be his height, where he is only about 5'9", 5'10", and it's sometimes hard for them to stretch out and pull in those passes.
So Hamler gives it off to Wilmore. Wilmore somehow pops out like a bar of soap in the shower for about 5 yards. he was buried in there and just like, whoop, there he goes.
We see here one more second to carry, getting contact immediately at the line of scrimmage. Popping out as what you said, Lou, for an extra 3 yards there.
Hey, it wasn't pretty, but it works, right?
It worked, definitely. So now it's 3rd and 5, and the Grizzlies now, they put themselves in position for them, perhaps forcing a 3 and out on the Cardinals. So it's a big play for the defensive side for Los Osos.
3rd and 6 out of the eye. Hamler rolls out, throws quick, and he was being chased down by the Los Osos defense, mainly Tahi Fakava. So it's going to be 4th down and 6, and something we rarely see from the Cardinals. It's a punting situation. So Alex Perez.
They're going with the rollout, and great pressure delivered from Los Osos. From Tahi Fakava, is what you said earlier. It's an interesting name to say. We got to start
working on your Samoan.
Yeah, I do. We've been Cardinals. They have a bunch of them as well.
Perez gets a Cardinal bounce, and that's going to go out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. And did I see a flag go up? No flag. Good. I told those guys no flags today.
There's no flag on the play.
Thank you.
I think they got the memo for you, Lou. They said, we know Lou Stowers. I was, trust me, people, I was there when I heard Lou gave him a hard warning about the lack of penalties, and this is a man you don't want to cross.
Yeah, my instructions work about as well on them as a 2-year-old. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 9-yard line for Los Osos from baseline league. 2 and 3 in league, 5 and 5 overall. Jorgensen trying to find a hole, following his blockers, and is finally taken down. by Fahina. Even though he's wearing number 50 tonight.
Naki Fahina was able to go ahead and clean up the play, something that we've seen throughout the whole entire season. He's still.
So draw play on 2nd and 6.
I believe they're near that first down. So two good solid runs from Los Osos. So it's third and about less than a yard, and them being pinned up inside their own 20. I believe they did. They're going to give them the first down, looks like. Yep, they did, Lou. What a good way to go ahead and get out of their own territory, giving them a little bit more cushion to continue this drive. And last drive, they see where maybe they got a little bit too comfortable with the passing plays, that they need to go back to their roots and continue to ground and pound, which they did right now to start off this drive, giving them a fresh set of downs.
6 yards on the play and a first down. Have a fresh running back out there. And he gets a welcome from Jonathan Watson.
The Lawndale welcome, where we tackle you with 4 guys, 4 or 5 different players. We see, I believe that it is Connor Helsius taking the carry, and he is introduced to Naki Fahina, as well as Jonathan Watson.
He has 2 carries for 0 yards. Back split, back to passes Cabral.
They're going with the wide receiver screen here. Great play call.
Nice call indeed. And Sin-Q Jones is still on the run at the 50-yard line. Finally herded out of bounds inside of Lawndale territory. Or right at midfield.
Coach Pierce, he seems like he has a lot of plays in this playbook that he is sort of cooking up, and he throws at us every now and then. I did not expect that coming. Neither did the Lawndale defense. They ran a great, successful, quick wide receiver screen. Big gain on the play, and they're almost at the 50-yard line.
30 yards on the play to Jones.
Jones, we see what he did earlier. I know it was called back, but Sin-Q Jones, very successful on opening plays, and here's a penalty.
Dead ball, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Sin-Q is a 6'2 senior, 170 pounds. And that's a perfect size to play on Saturdays in that position.
It is, and we see what I was trying to say earlier about how what he does in open space, he gets a ton of yardage. And, you know, he had the touchdown called back in the opening kickoff, but we saw what he did here on the wide receiver screen.
So it's 1st and 5 now.
Would like to know who's looking at him.
Or 1st and 15. With 3:40 left to go in the half, ball is handed off to Jorgensen, gets that 5 back and then some. So it'll be 2nd down and long.
Once Jorgensen takes a carry, he just falls forward and he just gets as much he can until he is tackled.
Well, talking to Coach Pierce, he did have a lot of plays in his book. He wouldn't tip his hand to us. He just wanted to, he says, well, we'll just see what works, with a little twinkle in his eye. Jorgensen got 5 yards back.
You heard there's a rumor that Lou Stowers is a personal spy. That's why he was not willing to give it to us.
I would never tell. Jorgensen with a nice run there, getting about 6 yards down inside of Lawndale territory to about their 44-yard line.
Some pretty solid runs from Jorgensen that we're seeing this drive, putting the Grizzlies in comfortable 3rd down situations. And it's a third and what, less than 5. Very, very manageable for the Grizzlies here, and they must capitalize to keep the drive going. They do get the ball to start off the second half as well.
Jorgensen again going over right guard, and this could be good enough for Los Osos first down. If there's no flags, don't see any.
Their fans, Los Osos fans, are clapping. It is a first down for the Grizzlies as time continues to tick towards halftime. This will be a huge, huge scoring drive if they are able to capitalize on a touchdown, and they immediately get the ball back at the start of second half.
So a 4-yard gain and a first down for Jorgensen. Man in motion is Bach. Gets the pass and a nice tackle just as soon as he caught it. Nice play by Paolo Bailey. First time we've called Paolo's name. No gain.
Was wondering where Paulo Bailey was, but then he reminded me, Darius, here I am. What a way to wrap around on Noah Bach. Cabral throwing to the flat. As we see Noah taking sometimes it's best to, let the pass go by him because Noah was not getting anywhere and he was leaving his torso exposed to Paulo Bailey.
Troy Tedesco, the only man in a split, and he might have been offside.
Penalties starting to pile up now in this game.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense, number 50, 5-yard penalty.
Okay.
Still
So
second
that
down.
Was Naki Fahina offside. So it's going to be 2nd down and 5.
Naki Fahina playing both sides of the ball tonight. He's still playing at a high intense level to the point where he got a little too excited that last play, giving the Grizzlies an extra 5 yards.
On the reverse, here comes Bach, and Bach is hit hard on the play by Nathaniel Davis.
Okay. Timeout. Offense.
Timeout by Los Osos with 1:22 left to go in the first half. They want to get a touchdown. But it was Los Osos who gave the ball back to Lawndale, but then Lawndale couldn't do anything with it, and they punted, a rare punt, and now Los Osos has something going, and they could be right back in this ball game here before halftime.
They can be in. It's now they're putting themselves in a position where they're inside the 35 with just over a minute left. Very, very manageable, and you can control the clock as well. But I did go back to how much they need to score this drive. Actually, as a matter of fact, the Cardinals, they actually get the ball to start off the second half, not
right.
The Grizzlies, excuse me. So pardon me for that one. But we see Nate Davis here. Very physical linebacker.
And a good play by Lawndale over on the far sideline. And that was Nicholas Paredes. First time we've called his name tonight. And he pushes. That was Keyshawn Clark back carrying the ball.
They're going to stay out there. It's 4th down. They want to get some points out of this drive as they were going to go for the play. Wide open.
Oh, man, that was a wide open pass to Donta Stanton, and just a little bit too far out of his range, thrown by Brett Cabral. Maybe just seeing it. Man, I got that first down. Oh, I threw it too hard. So with 48 seconds left to go, that's a turnover on downs back to the Cardinals.
A little too much excitement, it looks like, for Brett Cabral. He had all the time in the world. His feet were set, just couldn't make the throw to Stanton Jr. Stanton Jr. and him are not connecting whatsoever. And Stanton, he's been someone that's been running wide open throughout the whole entire game so far for the Grizzlies. They need to get that going in order for them to succeed and continue these drives. And if they get this connection from the start of the game, this game could have been a lot closer right now.
Ball is handed off to Wilmore, looking for running room. It maybe gets 2 yards on the play with 40 seconds left. Clock is running. And I wouldn't think that Lawndale's going to be in too much of a hurry.
They're not going to be. They're going to be the ones getting the ball to start off the half. So knowing that they have a possession after this quarter ends with the start of the second half, I'm pretty sure they're not in a hurry. Who knows? They might take a shot downfield. Knowing Jalen Hamler, we're used to seeing him taking at least one shot downfield, and they are in shotgun formation.
That's right, 3 receivers in the pattern, 2 on the far side, but they hand it off to Wilmore. Wilmore trying to find his way through the line, but they grab and hold to the 40-yard line, and that's going to be it for the first half. So 4-yard gain for Wilmore. That ends the half. And boy, what a battle we have here at Lawndale High School. Inside the Cardinal nest is 21-7 in favor of Lawndale in game 1 of the Division V CIF Southern Section playoffs. And I tell you what, Los Osos, we warned you. They're not a 2-3 team or a 5-5 team, that's for sure. And they have a lot of talent out there as well.
Sometimes the level of competition can play a big factor, and we see where Los Osos, they're in a league where these guys, Upland Rancho, you see them always in the top rank when it comes to state. You see Upland, Rancho Cucamonga always there in the mix. I think my junior year, me being at Roosevelt, my junior year, we got eliminated in the second round from Rancho Cucamonga. So this shows you how, what kind of league that these guys are in. And, they're used to playing against high-level competition. And here are the Cardinals being a high-level competitive type of team. And when was the last time we seen them only put up 21 points in the first half? So got to give a lot of credit to the Grizzlies defense, only allowing them to put up only 21 points.
Well, that's right. You look at the comparison as far as scoring goes, and the Lawndale Cardinals in 10 games have scored 495 points, only given up 73. Meanwhile, Los Osos has scored 265, but they've given up 329. So, yeah, this is going to be a rough and tumble game, and we will come back with the third quarter and maybe some interviews as well, or some reports from down on the field when we come back. This is the CIF Ford Southern Section Championships Division 5, and the Cardinals lead the Grizzlies.
Testing. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy.
Back here at the Cardinal Nest in Lawndale, where the Cardinals are beating the Los Osos Grizzlies 21-17. And let's go to the first half highlights, Darius. And how about the opening kickoff right away? That was something else. And there you see Almani Bishop.
Almani Bishop taking it to the house, but unfortunately it was called back. But we see where he was able to create some space. And look at that separation. Boy, I wish I would have seen it. If it would have been successful, how amazing that would have been. But we see Jordan Wilmore taking the carry, bumping into Jalen Hamlin. But what else is new right here? This is a typical Friday for Jordan Wilmore, breaking away for a touchdown run. But that's his only touchdown run so far. And here is my favorite play of the half. Great play design from Coach Clark with the Jalen Hamlin keeper. And here is a rollout from Brett Cabral hitting Noah Bach, and then Jalen Hamlin taking it for his second touchdown of the first half, actually. Jalen Hamlin being, in my opinion, the highlighted player of the half, making a lot of plays, even through the air, with Anthony Williams.
And let's go down to Sebastian.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I talked to Coach Travis coming out of the locker room, and he talked about how big Los Osos is, and he said, I don't think my guys have seen an opposition this big so far. But he said he wanted to cut down on the mental mistakes, and he says we should have a lot more points on the board. But he says, and we're dealing with a lot of injuries as well. So little minor injuries on the sideline, but he says we got to keep the pressure on this team and cut the multiple mental mistakes out there, and we should be all right. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Sebastian. Tolly Anderson is going to bring us some news as well.
Pretty well.
And let's go over some unofficial stats. Jordan Wilmore in the first half, 10 carries for 95 yards and Jalen Hamler was 1 out of 2 passing for 56 yards. That was caught by Anthony Williams III. And Hamler with 2 catches, 5 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Watson also had 4 carries for 20 yards. And Kyle Jorgensen had 12 carries for 53 yards. So he's really working hard there for every yard for the Los Osos Grizzlies. And Brett Cabral, 6 out of 11 for 67 yards and a touchdown that we saw on the highlight package that was caught by Noah Bach.
Kyle Jorgensen, I got to give a lot of credit to him. He's continuing to ground and pound against this Lawndale defense, and it's very rare to see a running back to continuing to ground and pound and actually having some decent success. He's actually having a really solid game. You know, he's already halfway to the 100-yard mark in the first half, and we see here where Brett Cabral connected with Noah Bach, but I felt like Brett Cabral could have hit his target. Dante Staton Jr. on the rollout a couple more times, because if he would have hit him a couple more times, the Grizzlies, they could have put up a couple more touchdowns. They need to hit Cabral and Staten Jr. I'm circling that right there because they got to get that going. Staten Jr. has been open throughout the whole entire game, and we'll see if even Lawndale will acknowledge it and adjust to it as well. Also, here is also some halftime scores for you, Lou, and for everybody else. Los Altos versus Moore Park. We got Moore Park is up 28-0 over Los Altos after the first half at halftime. Also, halftime over for the Moreno Valley and Lusinger game. Moreno Valley is up 19-0. And between Aquinas and Marantha, Aquinas is up 23-0 at halftime as well. And we know the winner between Moore Park and Los Altos will be playing against the winner of Lawndale and Los Osos. So right now, if the games were to end right now, Lawndale will be playing Moore Park, who is currently up 28-0 over Los Altos.
Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that one. I want to thank Tony Jones or Tony Long, I should say, for keeping us clear on all the scoring. And we're waiting for the kickoff for the third quarter. And Lusinger also, as you said, is playing Moreno Valley. And a lot of terrific games going on tonight in the first weekend, Veterans Day weekend for CIF football playoffs. And here we go. Kickoff, and it's run down, a line drive run down by Watson. Watson coming to this side of the field, spins out of a tackle. Actually, the tackler held on and finally drug down Watson, but not before a nice return to about the 29-yard line. Where are they going to stick this one?
Good return by Jonathan Watson there. And Cardinals getting the ball to start off the second half. Could take a big-time lead here if they come out with the good drive. But I got to give credit to the Los Osos defense. They've been going to what Sebastian Spencer said. They have the size to match up against that physicality, that big offensive line for Lawndale. And they did a good job in the first half, if you ask me.
Hamler to Wilmore, and Wilmore fighting for every yard. Connor Helsius hanging on for dear life, but not before Wilmore gains close to 10 yards.
This is the toughest game I've seen Wilmore run all year. I've been seeing him, he's only held to one touchdown in the first half, and by now at this point, he's been running, he would have, 3 or 4 touchdowns under his belt right now. But you can see fighting for every yard he is. I mean, this does not take away, even though he only has 1 touchdown in the game, does not take away such a great back he is. And you can just see it's fighting for every yard, and such a great carry on the first play of the drive for 9 yards.
Out of the shotgun, Hamler takes it. Hamler gets the first down and then gets shoved around, but still stays in bounds. Nice tackle by Matthew Williams. But that's a first down.
We have an injured Grizzly on the play there. Jalen Hamler, though, he is taking it on the quarterback keeper. Design quarterback keeper there, getting the sure first down. Oh, boy. He got hit in the area no man wants to get hit in. He's feeling it. I feel for you.
There's no get well card made for that one.
Let's go. That's Almani Bishop on the ground there. I believe looks like he got cleated up. Look around his thigh area, hopefully. Because from the angle that I saw, it looked like he got we see here Hamler on the carry, getting the first down. Oh
His
boy.
own guy.
Oh boy, Lou.
That was Matthew Williams. And
you can see his teammate, he's been acknowledging, oh man, he's able to walk it off. Hey, good for you. Good for you. Yeah, that's right. Just walk it off. That's all you got to do at this point.
yeah, you can't put ice on it.
Absolutely not. I think he's gonna stay out there. Okay, so he's not even gonna take a playoff. Good credit to Almani Bishop.
Almani's saying, what? I don't want to go off, but he's coming off. Oh, man. 1 minute gone in the third quarter. This has been a very entertaining game. And actually, I don't want to disrespect any of the opponents that Lawndale's had, but this is actually a nail biter we got going here. Nice swing pass to Joshua Pittman. And you know what? These Los Osos Grizzlies, they take their claws and really hang on to those jerseys until the Cardinal comes down.
Awesome swarm defense from the Grizzlies. That's what I've noticed so far this game is how they swarm to the ball. And once they grab a hold of you, they're not going to let go. They're going to wait for the rest of their passes to get there. And we see quick pass. Nope, not letting go. We got Naki Fahina trying to block off as many as he can, but the swarm defense from the Grizzlies, great job there. But still a good gain. A good gain on first down for the Cardinals, getting about a gain of 4. So it should be 2nd and 6 or something like that.
And Hamler out of the eye, gives it to Wilmore. Wilmore trying to dance through, but was handled there by Matthew Williams II again. And this is a 3-yard gain, so it's going to be 2nd down and 3.
Matthew Williams II, that is the biggest guy out there right now on the football field. He is enormous, and we see him making a play, swallowing up Jordan Wilmore.
And Tolly Anderson has a report, but we'll get to her after this play. 9:33 left to go in the 3rd quarter. A big 3rd down play for Lawndale. Out of the eye, Terrence Simon is the halfback out of the split eye. And Wilmore gets the handoff, trying to beat the linebacker, trying to go around, and gets the first down and gets knocked down right around the 33-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Jordan Wilmore and the Cardinals inside of Los Osos territory. Let's go down to Tolly.
Thanks, Lou. I spoke with Alex Pierce, head coach of the Grizzlies, at halftime, and he just said over and over, defense needs to make tackles. And of course mentioned number 1 on Lawndale is one special guy. I think I've heard that enough this season. And also something to mention, I did see the left guard is out. He was out from the first kickoff and has a left shoulder dislocated. I will check back in once I have more information.
Thanks, Tolly. I don't think I could ever hear enough good things about Jordan Wilmore. Hamler back to pass, wants to throw it deep. Nobody open, so he throws it underneath. And Wilmore was covered by Connor Helsius. So it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Going back to that first down run from Jordan Wilmore, he was met about 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage from Connor Helsius. And he was able to use that strong stiff arm of Jordan Wilmore, one of many attributes of Jordan Wilmore, getting, about 10 yards on that run and keeping the drive alive. Key first down there for the Cardinals. And I'm pretty sure that's a crushing blow for this Grizzlies defense, but they're continuing to fight back, but they had the Cardinals pinned right there for a significant amount of yards lost.
Yeah, that was an 11-yard gain net.
Wow.
Out of the eye. Wilmore dancing behind his blocker, and a flag on the play as Wilmore gets tossed out of bounds around the 25-yard line.
It's one of our crew members that just went down along in there.
Oops. Forget about how the guy is. How's the camera? We can get another guy. No, we can't replace our guys.
Definitely not.
Watch the
look at this patient run. But the pursuit of this Grizzlies defense got there, and oh boy, watch out. Check to see if he's okay, guys.
He's okay.
That's going to be a penalty on the Grizzlies, and no, penalty on the Cardinals, excuse me, and that's going to help out the Grizzlies.
It sure does. It's a big one. It's a hold. Goes up. I don't know. You're going to have to send somebody up here to check it. The batteries are dead again in the receiver. But it's 2nd down and about 20. So out of the shotgun, trips to the far side to the left, and Jordan Wilmore takes it down to about the 45-yard line. So gets a few yards back. It's still going to be about 3rd down and about 17 yards to go. So 3 yards on the play for Wilmore.
This is quite. I really got to give a lot of credit to this Grizzlies defense and their front seven. They're making Jordan Wilmore fight for every yard this game, and it's just been quite interesting to see how great Jordan Wilmore is still running this game. And this has been, from what I've seen so far, Lou, his toughest battle yet, and it's only going to get tougher these playoffs if they continue to move on.
That's true. So this is a true wake-up call for the Lawndale Cardinals, and Travis Clark, the head coach for Lawndale, calls a timeout early in the 3rd quarter. 8:07 left to go in the 3rd, and it's a 3rd down and 18. We'll call it 16. How about that?
And the Grizzlies Los Osos, they're in a beautiful opportunity for their defense to make a stop, putting that offense back out on the field, just being down only 14. And how about that? If the Grizzlies defense can make a stop here, offense comes out and they could get a score on the board, then it goes back down to a 1-score game. And here in the playoffs, 1-score game coming into the later quarters, 3rd, 4th quarter, that's when anything can happen at this point. But nonetheless, this is a 5-5 team stepping into Lawndale, who's been a juggernaut all throughout the season, and they're putting up their toughest battle yet. Got to give credit to these boys and their tenacity and just how much they're continuing to put Lawndale in uncomfortable positions. They are burning a timeout with 8 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
That's right. So out comes Jalen Hamler and the Cardinal offense. 3 receivers to the right side. Hamler looking that way, throws across the middle, caught by Wilmore. Gets out of a tackle and gets the 1st down for Lawndale on a 3rd down and 17.
And he can do it. He can do it all, can he, Lou?
Wow.
From running the ball to receiving the ball, pretty much the biggest play of the game right here on a key 3rd and 16. Hamler stepping into the pocket, firing, hitting Jordan Wilmore. Wilmore going up and snagging the ball. This is a running back that we're talking about, making a highlighted play like
and
this.
Look at that. Bam. Right off of Bishop.
Bishop just got met with a train.
He got hit high and low tonight. Hamler keeps the ball on kind of a wildcat play, and he wildcats it into the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals.
This is Jalen Hamler's game.
His hat trick for Hamler.
3rd rushing touchdown, and this play prior to it, I'm still in awe about that play that he was able to make on a 3rd and 16 to Jordan Wilmore. Jalen Hamler, he's been taking over. This is the Jalen Hamler show.
Alex Perez going to try to tack on the extra point out of the hold of Albert Cobbin.
Hamler keeping the ball.
And the kick is high, true, and through. With 7:34 left to go in the 3rd quarter, it is now Lawndale 28-7.
There's Jalen Hamler. I'm sure Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, they are smiling right now, looking at their future quarterback on the quarterback keeper, following his running back Jordan Wilmore. Look at that mobility, getting to the end zone for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game.
3 touchdowns, but Tom down in the truck, I hope we still have that replay of the catch by Wilmore, the 18-yard grab for the 1st down. That was the play of that drive, and maybe we can show that in the post game, or heck, as many times as we can watch it. That was pretty.
It was a crucial play, if you ask me. You're talking about the Grizzlies are in great position to stop the Cardinals, to keep this game in range, to put them offense in good position. And Hamler pretty much ripped out the hearts of the Grizzlies as he scored the following play, and now they're up by 21. Look at this kick.
Did that go through the uprights?
I believe.
If I think that went through the uprights, that's the 2nd time in a game where he's kicked it through the uprights.
Boy, that leg is impressive. Absolutely impressive from Axel Perez. And now the Cardinals defense, I'm pretty sure they're familiar with this situation in the 2nd half, up by 21 points.
Let's watch that kick.
But look at Axel Perez.
Yep.
Oh,
Or did it just go under the crossbar?
I think it just went in. I think he was just short here. We see the ball. Yep, the ball is visible in front of the crossbar we see here.
Oh, yeah, there it bounces right in front of the pad.
Let's go ahead. Oh, that's a late hit. Terrence Simon. He knows better.
So those are the mental mistakes that Coach Clark was telling Sebastian about. No room for that in a game this tight. It's still a ball game at 28-7.
We see Brett Cabral. He's going out of bounds at this point. Terrence Simon, he knows better. He's known for making these big hits, but at the same time, he's also known to being a disciplined player. But we got Lawndale's best corner, Michaela Steen, favoring his shoulder. We're talking about a corner that has had 6 interceptions throughout the season, taking 1 to the house. They're losing a key guy right now.
So a 15-yard gain, and now Jorgensen, I should say a 5-yard gain, and well, actually a 15-yard penalty, excuse me. As Pinkston makes the tackle, but Jorgensen with a 7-yard run.
Perhaps a costly penalty right now, given the Grizzlies some life right now, trying to keep this game in reach. They're almost at midfield, and right now the Cardinals are without their top corner.
Straight ahead football. 4 clouds for 4 yards in a cloud of dust, as that was carried by Connor Helsius. And a first down for Los Osos. They're not done.
They're not done. They're going to continue to attack, sticking with this formation, being down 21 points, but they're still run heavy. And right now it is very key that this will be a big injury loss if Michaela Steen can't go out there.
Helsius again gets across the 50-yard line and into Lawndale territory.
So far having a lot of success on the ground this drive for the Grizzlies. And this is when a running game can make or break a game. If you get your running game going on in the second half, that's going to keep you very much alive in this game. And got to give credit to Coach Pierce by sticking with this running game despite being down 21.
Jorgensen, there's a reason why. Jorgensen gets the first down and a good open field tackle. Or Jorgensen might have been gone. You would have figured that it would have been the other way around, where Lawndale would be wearing down Los Osos. But right now, with that run, that's Jorgensen's longest run of the game.
I believe Jordan Wilmore just switched jerseys right now. He's number 21, Lou.
Really?
Yeah. They just gave Jordan Wilmore a new jersey.
So over the middle, maybe it was ripped. Speaking of ripping, there goes Bishop as he catches the ball and another first down.
Armani Bishop is, he's been out there a lot this game. We've been calling his name out there, whether it's good and obviously whether it's bad through the injury that he went through. But a good first down for the Grizzlies.
Hurry up offense at the 22-yard line. And Jorgensen may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Let's go down to Sebastian.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. As you guys probably saw from up there, Jordan Wilmore did switch to number 21. The number 1 jersey that he was wearing did get ripped in a play, so will be wearing number 21. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much. Second down and a long 10 as Jorgensen, no gain, but now here goes Helsius into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Osos, and I think that Helsius is going to run to Manhattan Beach.
He's continuing to running to the shoreline, like you said, Lou. What a touchdown to go ahead and spark this Grizzlies team. Being down 21, key play from Jalen Hamler in the previous drive, but we see them responding back, giving it to Connor Helsius, and look at him just running straight up the middle on the dive, continuing to run off the field.
So there you see Hannah Moffitt, and she kicks it up and through. So with 5:08 left to go in the third quarter, it's a 14-point game, a 2-score difference, 28-14 in favor of the Lawndale Cardinals in a hard-fought CIF Southern Section Division 5 playoff game.
I wonder if Hannah Moffitt is she has to be part of their the girls soccer program at
Nope.
the Grizzlies.
She's
Nope.
not. She's a club soccer player. That's what Coach Pierce was telling us. And the club coach said, we don't want her playing football, so then she quit.
Wow. Well, talk about girl power.
Yeah, there you go.
I stand with her if that's the case. Hats off to you, Hannah. But, man, credit to Los Osos. This is something that we don't see. It normally when Lawndale pulls away in the second half, they continue to pull away. Los Osos quickly responds back, and they play power football.
And this ball is kicked into the end zone, so it will be 1st and 10 for the Cardinals from the 20-yard line. Don't normally see that either.
Definitely not. This is going to be a game. This is going to be a fight to the end for Lawndale. Right now, Los Osos putting up a big fight, and their defense right now in a great field position for the defense. So if they can go ahead and come out and stop the Lawndale offense, which has been moving at will, especially with Jalen Hamler. He's been doing it both on the ground and through the air. You know, we always talk about Jordan Wilmore circling Jordan Wilmore, but they got to go ahead and circle Jalen Hamlin. But Jordan Wilmore, we see that ain't nobody else. That is still Jordan Wilmore wearing number 21.
Out of the shotgun, trips to the right. One receiver up top on the top of your screen. Ball is handed off up the middle, trying to get a hole to open up, but nothing doing. That's Jordan Wilmore wearing number 21.
Wearing number 21 with his, look like his belly button showing, pulling off his inner Ezekiel Elliott, I could see. Runs like him too, I'll tell you that. But we see, I see McKellisteen out there, so maybe that shoulder injury was just a stinger, thankfully. And that's
a stinker?
A stinger.
Oh, stinger.
A stinger, okay. I believe.
Hamler keeping the ball, has Wilmore blocking for him. A nice block as Hamler trying to run everybody. Gets up to the 40-yard line. Let's see where they give him progress to.
Jalen Hamler making plays through the air and through the ground. He already has 3 rushing touchdowns on the game. Looked like he was trying to get number 4 on this one with the design quarterback keeper. Running down the sideline, picking up a lot of yardage there, and he was looking to go head on with that defender for the Grizzlies. Big first down for the Cardinals, and now they're once again in good field position, just about 5 yards, 6 yards out away from the 50-yard line.
That was a 25-yard gain, but busted the block was Wilmore. Back to pass, and caught. Tackled immediately, Anthony Williams III. It's going to give him a generous 1 yard on that play.
Wilmore making a key block that last play. So you're talking about him not only running the ball fantastic this game, but also blocking and making a big catch that last drive. And we see here Jalen Hamlin on a quick pass. Anthony Williams, who made that big catch in the first half. Not a big catch this time, only getting 1 yard.
David Olivas on the tackle for the Grizzlies. Naked backfield for Hamler. Looking up the middle. Great protection. Trying to outrun Williams and steps out of bounds. Once he saw that big truck with a number 99 license plate, he took off.
I would do the same thing as well. Having Angel Gonzalez going at you, I'll go ahead and do the same thing what Jalen Hamler did. But look at this protection. Some pretty good protection right there from his offensive line until Angel Gonzalez got loose. Jalen did, I'm pretty sure, what everybody else in here will do and start taking off and run, getting some good yardage, and now it's a third and 3 situation for the Cardinals.
Just inside of Los Osos territory at the 49-yard line of the Grizzlies.
It's a key third down stop for the Grizzlies defense. Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. There, Lawndale giving up some yards there.
Pinkston took off. And that's going to be 5 yards back. Back into Lawndale territory at the 46.
Keon Pinkston making a couple penalties on offense and defense side of the ball. He did have an encroachment penalty earlier this game on the defensive line, And then this time right here, costing them 5 yards, and it went from a 3rd and 3 to a 3rd and 8 for the Cardinals. And now getting a first down here, it's going to be a lot more tougher. But what we see from Jalen Hamler, he can make some magic happen.
Wilmore is one of the receivers at the bottom of our screen, and he throws it to Williams the third. Williams trying to make a move, and does, and gets the first down inside of Los Osos territory at about the 41-yard line. Wow, pulling a rabbit out of the hat.
Once again, Hamler's making magic happen. 3rd and 8, empty set. Was able to find Anthony Williams. Getting the first down. Big time first down for the Cardinals. Just outside the 40, and they're once again knocking on the door against this Grizzlies defense, which they need a stop. They can't,
Quarterback keeper again. Wilmore, leading blocker, opens up a nice hole for Jalen Hammer. He gets across the 30-yard line to about the 29.
Loses his helmet there as well. This is playoff football for the quarterback. Some grass around his face. Yeah. We see quarterback keeper for Jalen Hamler. Goes up the middle. Goes head-to-head with Almani Bishop. But most importantly, getting that first down. Big time first down for the Cardinals. Losing his helmet on that play as well. Jalen Hamler doing it all.
And keeping the clock rolling. 2:45 left to go in the third quarter.
Here's a new quarterback. I believe they want to give
him out. Well, no, they had to take out Hamler out of there because his helmet came off.
So they're going to do the right thing.
New quarterback is Joshua Barberin. And they gave the ball to Watson, and he gets a 4-yard gain. Down to the 25, so it'll be 2nd down and 6.
How exciting is that for young Barberin to go ahead and get out there? If anything, I was expecting to see Barberin maybe if this game was a little bit blown out of proportion, if the Cardinals were up by, I'll say 28-35, but he had to go out there quickly because of losing the helmet from Jalen Hamler on the last play. He had to be called out, but this offense is relying heavily as they're once again in another empty set.
Trips to the right, but Hamler's looking to the left. Wide open is Williams the third. He's trying to beat tacklers in towards the end zone and into the end zone. Touchdown, Lawndale. What a battle by Anthony Williams, the third, the 5'10", 166-pound sophomore, with a beautiful fight inside the 5-yard line to score.
The Hamler to Williams connection is getting going here in the second half as they connect for the second touchdown. Or not the second touchdown of the game. They did have a big play where Anthony Williams almost scored in the first drive and the first big play of the game. But here this time they connect for the touchdown. Anthony Williams' first touchdown of the game,
And Perez, no doubter. He kicks that one halfway to Gardena. But if we can see that replay again, as the extra point's good, it's 35-14. Number 44, Patrick Kaklovic, is a 6', 200-pound junior against Williams, who's 166 pounds on a rainy day.
As I mentioned earlier, with Williams almost getting a touchdown on his big play the first half, he wanted that touchdown this half right here as he got the ball this time, carrying half the Los Osos defense to the end zone.
And Connor Helsius.
These are big guys that we're naming right now. Nope, this time he wanted that touchdown. He couldn't get it before. And now Coach Clark, we see looking like talking to Pinkston. Looked like wanting to calm him down. Pinkston has made a couple penalties, jumping the gun early on both sides of the ball, offense and defense.
And there you go, into the end zone. It's a touchback, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies, and that will be at the 20-yard line.
So as the Anthony Williams and Jalen Hamler connection has completely taken over this game, that's Jalen Hamler's fourth total touchdown of the game, Lou, and that is his first passing touchdown of the game. So that's 4 total touchdowns for Jalen Hamler.
That's right, and they have plenty to be happy about. The PAT was good, so it's 35-14.
Plenty of time.
Underneath, it's caught. And a flag on the play.
Looks like this penalty might be going against Los Osos if that's the case. Oh, it's going to be roughing the passer against the Cardinals. So once again, the Cardinals coming out with giving an extra 15 yards. They did this last scoring drive for the Grizzlies. They unnecessary roughness at the end of the play, the first play, and this time we see roughing the passer on Brett Cabral, where he had a lot of time in the pocket, and I believe following that throw he got hit, and you know that there was really nobody around him by the time he threw it, so that might have been some unnecessary roughness against the Cardinals. And once again, the Cardinals, they don't do this. They don't ever give offenses free yards. They get offended if they give them 1 yard.
Now Jorgensen, though, he's really starting to get better as the game goes on, as he goes 9 yards on that play to the 49-yard line.
We see here where Jorgensen takes the carry, goes up the middle, sheds Keon Pinkston, a tackle from Keon Pinkston. Jorgensen, the way he's running right now, you're not going to go ahead and bring it down with just one arm, Keon. Someone let Keon know that, because the way Jorgensen is running this half is very physical.
So they give him 8 yards. And I don't think Bach got the first down.
No, he didn't. What a great tackle. You saw a great tackle there bringing down Noah Bach.
So they're going to give him no gain.
We see here on the toss, trips left. Noah Bach had his blockers in front of him, and what a flying tackle we see by number 17.
And Jorgensen was tackled by Fahina. But let's see where they spot the ball. That's going to be important. Fahina let go, and Jorgensen kept going, and no. And let's see if Coach Alex Pierce goes for it on 4th and 2.
They're going to let the clock run out to the 4th quarter, so they're most likely they're going to have to go for it at the start of this 4th quarter, and it's going to be the biggest play for the game for the Grizzlies here. Jorgensen taking the carry, met at the line of scrimmage from Jonathan Watson and Naki Fahina. I don't think he was fully down, but his elbow did touch the ground before hitting the 50-yard line.
Yeah, they marked it. It's going to be about 4th and 1. But on the last Cardinal scoring play, it was an 8-play drive that went 80 yards and covered about 6 minutes. The PAT was good, 35-14. Hamler with his first touchdown pass of the game, and like you said, and 3 rushing touchdowns.
Going back to the crucial 3rd down play before the half, Jonathan Watson and Naki Fahina. Look at Naki Fahina getting through the hole, contributing on that tackle. Jonathan Watson taking most of the hit there, though.
4th and 1 to give it to Jorgensen, and no, he is head planted by the defense, and look who's leading the parade, Terrence Simon Jr., along with Keenan Files and Tuli Peloto with the broken arm.
Eventually, we had to go ahead and call Terrence Simon's name, but look at Tuli getting in there with the broken arm, disrupting the blockers. And Terrence Simon Jr., he said, hey, I need to go ahead and get in this mix, making the biggest play of the game on the defensive side, stopping them on 4th down. And now the Cardinals have the ball to start off this 4th quarter with a 21-point lead here, and this is where they can go ahead and pull away.
Give it to Wilmore. Wilmore, actually, no.
It's a play action.
It was a play action, and a good read by the Los Osos defense to sack Hamler.
That was Jorgensen.
Yeah, you're right. Too much dirt on his jersey. I almost couldn't read it.
He's having himself a football game, I'll tell you that. I like Kyle Jorgensen. He stood out to me when he entering this game. Was mentioned as being one of the top 10 IE players a couple weeks ago. And I can see why, because tonight he is making a lot of plays out there, both offense and defense for the Grizzlies.
So now inside of their own territory, Hamler keeps it, and a little bit of confusion and a whistle.
This is going to be against.
Is there too much time?
It looks like that was.
Got a mulligan.
Looks like that was an official's timeout right there.
Yeah, yeah. The ball is at the 44-yard line, so it's second down. Hamler with the keeper again. Hamler gets through tacklers and gets into the secondary and almost to the original line of scrimmage, and let's go down to Tolley.
Thanks, Lou. I was walking the Grizzlies sideline, and it was definitely like a library. No one was making any sounds. I even heard one of the parents reminding the players and the team to just get fired up. And then before you knew it, Matthew Williams, 96, came off the field to the sideline, and he was angry. He was aggressive. He has a lot of passion. This team is probably a little frustrated, as you can see from the scoreboard, but that's part of the game, and hopefully they do come out with a win.
10:51 left to go in the fourth quarter. Third down and 11. Hamler, look out. Here comes the blitz, and he is sacked way back at the 40-yard line. So it'll be third down and long. Third down at about 23. Check that, fourth down at 23 for the Cardinals.
Look at this pressure from the Grizzlies defense. Jorgensen getting himself in the mix once again, and he is getting swallowed up by number 84 of the Grizzlies, Tahi Fakava. Got to go ahead and remember that name because he's made himself known this game right here.
Sure has, on a full-out blitz. Good defensive play by Pierce, and Perez back to punt. Off of the ankle as Bishop picks up the ball at about the 23-yard line, and a nice open field tackle by the Cardinals. And that looks like Joshua Barbarin.
Look at the quarterback in there, the backup quarterback in there making a big hit. How about that? Who says quarterbacks can't hit, Lou? Well, Joshua Barbarin, he begs to differ. Armani Bishop looked like he had a hole there breaking through three Cardinals, and then bam, there goes Joshua Barbarin going after the thighs, taking out Armani Bishop's legs. And the Grizzlies, it could have been worse. It could have been a lot worse situation right now, but they did a big stop on defense with 2 big sacks on Jalen Hamler.
Jorgensen trying to get around the corner but can't do it. Good pursuit by the Cardinals. No gain.
I'm absolutely surprised that we're not going to start seeing them sling the ball there. They have guys that can go ahead and get the ball with Andrew Walker and Dante Staton Jr. They got to start slinging the ball now. They're down 21. It's just under 10. They have guys that can go ahead and catch the ball out there and run routes.
A little bit of misdirection and given off to the second running back, and that was Helsius. And he gets a yard, so it's third down and long. Helsius comes out of the game. Split to the near side is Cinque Jones.
Shotgun formation, rare formation that we've seen so far.
Looking left, throwing left, wide open, and that's Walker, and that's going to be a first down and then some inside of Lawndale territory. Finally whipped out of bounds by Terrence Simon Jr.
As I said just before this play happened, that they need to go ahead and find their receivers. They're down 21. Andrew Walker, from what I've seen so far.
Are you hooked up to their thing?
Has been, not me, but Brett Cabral taking a big hit actually from Naki Fahina. That was a big hit that Brett Cabral took before connecting with Andrew Walker there on the pass. They're gonna go
swing pass to Jorgensen, and what an open field tackle by Jonathan Watson. Man, he's had a game too tonight.
Everybody in the Cardinals is contributing on both sides of the ball. This is a complete team that they are right now. The Grizzlies, they obviously had their handful coming into today's game. But right now, they do need to go ahead and start slinging the pass more. And you see them in shotgun formation, forward wide receiver set.
And a penalty flag on the field. And that's going to go against Los Osos.
And we have an update on the Lusinger game, Moreno Valley Lusinger game. Moreno Valley up 31-15 over Lusinger in the third quarter.
Across the middle, it's caught by Cinque Jones in that play that they love to run, the slant across the middle. Little skinny post. But it's still going to be third down at about 2.
Good connection there, making third down very, very manageable for the Grizzlies. It's a big third down for them, as they're going to go ahead and need this first down to get this drive going. Every drive from here on out for the Grizzlies, they need a touchdown. Nothing less. Nothing settles for nothing less than a touchdown. C.K. Jones making the connection there. They have weapons. They have weapons.
A tight formation with Walker split to the near side, and a timeout called now by Los Osos, as they almost got called for too much time. Want to recognize one of the Lawndale Cardinal moms, Mikhail Estein's mom, Lavina. She runs the concession stand down there, and she just loves to watch our broadcast on TV. So, Lavina, this one's for you.
We definitely appreciate it, and make sure let's not go ahead and give Lou a little bit too much food from the snack bar.
Yeah, I need to stay away from that thing. Sure, well, the hot dogs smell good tonight too.
It sure did, and gotta love it. Gotta love the atmosphere over here, and from the booster, from the parents, everybody contributing, and you can just see where they all are deeply passionate about their team, about the Cardinals. Their kids playing out there, McAllistein being a very big contributor as well.
Here goes the reverse, and Jorgensen throws up a wounded duck, and it's caught by Cabral, and that's going to be a first down inside of the 10-yard line.
Wow, what trickery and what great play design from Coach Pierce. Called a timeout, and he definitely had a play up his sleeve. We see Coach Pierce running some interesting plays throughout the game. I just want to know how many more plays he has like this. Look at Jorgensen making sacks, making great plays on the ground, running the ball, and now he's passing. Versatile player at his best.
Ball is handed off to Helsius, and he battles his way down to about the 5-yard line.
Wow, great play call from the pass play. That was an awesome play call there, keeping the drive alive for the Grizzlies. Coach Clark making sure his defense settled in right now would be a key stop for them.
Cabral throws it into the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown for Los Osos and Almani Bishop.
Almani Bishop. That's a football player. That is a football player that we're seeing right now in Almani Bishop. Talk about heart. He has all of it and then some. Going with the rollout pass, and this is what they've been doing. This is for most of their passing plays for Brett Cabral. He's been very successful with the rollouts, throwing on the run, finding Almani Bishop there. Good vision. Almani Bishop holding it in.
And Hannah Moffitt kicks through the extra point. So with 6:11 left to go in the fourth quarter, don't look now, but Los Osos is still making this a ball game. It's 35-21 in favor of the Cardinals.
I'm like a little bit, wow, I'm a little bit surprised at how close this game is. But then again, this is the playoffs, and this is when games are going to be very tight to the end. And I guess you could just say I'm very surprised on Lawndale's end from what we've been calling all year with how many blowouts, you know, by 6 minutes left in the game, the clock is running. But this is when the playoffs, this is when teams tighten up, this is when the game tightens up. You got Los Osos coming in here, making sure they're not going out without a fight. And right now, this game is still in reach for Los Osos. They need a big stop on defense. Right now, Lawndale, they're playing up on the line of scrimmage, anticipating an onside kick, and I think that they might be going for it. Who knows?
Let's find out. Got some hands guys out there, yep. And a nice pickup And a nice run back, and that was by Keenan Files, who's made a couple of good plays here. One on offense and now one on special teams.
Almost took it to the house.
Yep.
Great play awareness from Keenan Files. And not only that, not only the recovery, they got it at the 30-yard line, and right now with 6 minutes left in the game with a 14-point lead, this is Jordan Wilmore time. But look at Keenan Files making the play and almost taking his house. You can't tell me that he was not thinking, oh boy, this is the moment. This is the moment that is actually going to happen. That's
right, and look at this, the starting point. Great field position now for Lawndale. But they got the perfect bounce off of that onside kick. The ball went right up in the air where you want it if you're the offensive team.
Absolutely perfect bounce, and like I said, this is Jordan Wilmore time, so this is where I anticipate to see a lot of Jordan Wilmore at the end of the game, and this is when you want your key running back to do, to go ahead and wear down that clock, secure the victory. Los Osos defensive line, they got to go ahead and come up big right here in this drive. Otherwise, if the Cardinals get a couple first downs, I'm afraid that that might be too much time for the Grizzlies to go ahead and try to catch up with.
4 yards, 3 yards on the play, so it'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Cardinals. Hamler under center, out of the eye. Simon is the fullback. Wilmore bounces off and goes to the right side, but Helsius is a Hellcat or a Hell Bear.
Helsius been disrupting the line of scrimmage throughout the game. We see here, and it being late in the game, he plays both sides. We see him taking a couple of carries, obviously making a big touchdown run earlier this game. He's still playing with full throttle, with the full tank here late in the game, making a big stop there, and now it is a big 3rd down for the Grizzlies defense. But right now time is against them as well. Not only the Cardinals are their opponent, but so is time, as it is under 5 minutes left in the game. So this is a big down for the Grizzlies defense.
Timeout called by Travis Clark and the Lawndale Cardinals. Looked like they were going to run it, and then they took Terrence Simon out of the ball game and another blocker for 2 receivers, but then they changed their mind. And they're behind everybody is Files, who could be in the running for tip of the hat.
We could go ahead.
Or player of the game. You never know.
Connor Helsius, that's an honorable mention. I'll go ahead and say he's been having a Helsius of a game. I guess I could go ahead and have some fun with his last name.
Why not? But what a Friday night this is. Veterans Day observed. And both of these teams are playing their hearts out. With 4:47 left to go in the 4th quarter. A big 3rd down and a long 7.
This is a big play because they're going with an empty set, so they're going to pass. So if it's not a completed pass.
Look out. Hamler's going to go run. And now we got a penalty flag.
This might be a big penalty going against the Cardinals, and this is the last thing that they needed here. It's going to go against the Cardinals, Lou. Uh-oh.
Holding.
Oh, boy. Grizzlies still alive. Big penalty against the Cardinals. The clock stops. And now getting a 1st down. But we've seen it before. We've seen it earlier this game where Jalen Hamler worked his magic connecting with Jordan Wilmore on a 3rd and 16, which, in my opinion, that might be the play of the game if the Cardinals end up coming out and winning this, because the next play they scored a touchdown after that. But right here is a 3rd and 17 situation. It is an empty set. So if it's an incomplete pass, the clock will still stop as well. And you can see where the Grizzlies, they're going to be setting the house here. They got everybody at the line of scrimmage.
And somebody maybe, nope, they're going to call it on Lawndale again.
And this is something that Coach Clark is definitely not going to be happy about. This is something that he does not like, is undisciplined football, and we see back-to-back penalties, and this is only killing the Cardinals, and this is only giving the Grizzlies more life. And we can see Coach Clark very, very animated, about to take off his whole entire headset and even his hat on there.
He might unscrew his head.
very, very passionate, and he emphasizes so much on disciplined football. He just emphasizes so much on them. Just talking to him last week, and this is why throughout all these games, even though they're winning all their games throughout the year, he's always never happy because, you know, he finds some type of plays that the team we're not disciplined on.
Hamler's going to keep it himself, goes around the corner trying to get a block, does.
Oh, boy, no. He should have – don't run out of bounds.
With 4 minutes left to go, he did stay in bounds.
He did stay in bounds?
No, he did not stay in bounds, pardon me. And that's going to turn it over on downs. And, Tom, you might want to check the referee's mic. I just put my own batteries in there. So it'll be 4th down. And Alex Perez is going to punt it.
That was definitely not a good awareness from Hamler there, running out of bounds, stopping the clock. But he's been having a phenomenal game for Jalen Hamler.
And this one is sliced out of bounds, and it's going to be called out of bounds at about the 20-yard line.
It's all or nothing for the Grizzlies, but here we go, the previous play here. We got Jalen Hamler finding the crease, but at least fall in field and not really go out of bounds, which he did here. Going out of bounds, that's going to stop the clock, giving the Grizzlies enough time to try to go bring this game in reach for the Grizzlies. And Cabral's going to be slinging it this drive now.
And knocked out of bounds is Jorgensen. So the pass is complete to Jorgensen.
Looked like his options were not there. Looked like this was designed for a quick pass, and his options weren't there, so he quickly dumped it off to Jorgensen where it didn't go anywhere. No gain on the play, but the clock is stopped there. And we're going to be seeing Cabral sling it this whole entire time, and almost picked off.
Terrence Simon Jr. knocked it down, and he almost picked it off.
That would have put the stamp on this game there. We see Terrence Simon a little bit too. Well, that was a very hard pass from Brett Cabral there, and we see Terrence Simon.
But he prevented the completion by Bach, because he would have caught the ball.
Most importantly, that he prevented the completion, but that would have been game if Terrence Simon would have came down with it, giving the Grizzlies more life still.
3rd and 10, big play for the Lawndale defense, and they stop him. Keon Pinkston, playing the nose guard, said, you're not going anywhere. Big old Keon, 6'3", 265-pound junior.
Interesting play design here, a quarterback keeper on a 3rd and 10, under 3.5 minutes left, and a quarterback keeper up the middle against this physical Lawndale defensive line. That was an interesting play call there. But here's the play of the game.
4th and 9. Cabral has a man open, but it's intercepted by Esteen. Levine's baby boy, Makeel Esteen, with the interception with 3 minutes and 3 seconds left to go inside of Lawndale territory.
Makeel Esteen making a play that's going to solidify this victory for the Cardinals with over 3 minutes left. I believe that is his 7th interception on the year. 7 interceptions for number 7, hauling it in. And that might be the deal breaker.
And DJ Nico playing the song.
7 interceptions on the season for number 7, and he is only a junior. So he's only going to add more to his resume next year.
And a nice young man, too. The handoff is to Wilmore. Bounces back to the outside. Here he comes. He has one man to beat, and he goes out of bounds. Didn't keep the clock running, but 2:56 left to go in the 4th quarter and a 14-point lead. It's a first down, that's for sure. Out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
Jordan Wilmore, still a very solid game on the ground. Not the Jordan Wilmore game that we're used to calling, because normally on these kind of plays he goes to the house, but Los Osos got to credit their defense. They definitely had Jordan Wilmore circled throughout the whole entire week.
And Wilmore trying to go up the middle, finds a seam, gets into the secondary. Terrific block up front to begin things. Damian Gutierrez.
Wilmore running up the middle. Offensive line creating holes, taking advantage of it, getting another first down, back-to-back first down carries for Jordan Wilmore. Now the clock is going to continue to run. And right now the Cardinals are on their way to round 2.
Fullback is Nathaniel Davis. And the halfback is Jonathan Watson. Handoff to Watson, bounces back inside, still on his feet. And gains, well, let's see where they give the forward progress to.
It's going to be a timeout call from the Grizzlies. They're pretty much on their last breath at this point here in the game. Watson taking the carry, though, gaining a solid 3 yards in there. Stopped by the front 7 of Los Osos. And we are just over 2 minutes to go here. Cardinals up 14. Coach Clark pretty much making sure his team is composed and keep his composure. You know, they want to play it safe, run as much time off the clock as they can. This game is pretty much in their, the game is in their hands. They control their destiny.
They sure do. Just keep that clock rolling.
It's going to take a miracle for Los Osos to make anything happen on defense. I'm pretty sure Coach Clark is emphasizing to just protect the ball because
don't do anything that's going to make the yellow flag come out of the pocket.
Exactly. We saw our last drive where the penalties killed their last drive, giving Grizzlies the signs of life.
Handoff to Wilmore. Wilmore disappears under the pile. And Los Osos, they're still grinding it out, still fighting Matthew Torres with the tackle there. So for a team that hasn't tasted the playoffs in 5 years, Los Osos has nothing to hang their heads about.
They've put up one heck of a fight. They put up the toughest fight that Lawndale has faced all year, as a matter of fact. It's the playoffs here. This is what the playoffs are all about. The best of the best is going to be playing here. And right now, big third down for this defense. It's all or nothing. If they get the first down, they have no more timeouts to go ahead and stop the clock at this point.
This is the second most points this season that Lawndale's given up. They gave up 26 points to San Pedro at San Pedro, 35-26. So it's the most points given up at home for the Lawndale Cardinals. And a good job by the officiating crew. Let's give them some props. Alex Lee, umpire Paul Johnson, head linesman William Reeves, line judge Ray Hellman, and the back judge Tim McCullough. So a good job by them too. Hamler hands it off to Wilmore. Is he going to squeeze through? And he just gets tackled from behind at the last minute by Jaden Sandoval. Good boy. Hope this stays in your DVR this whole season on City Sports, because this kid is something special. And if everything stays healthy and goes right for this young man, he could be playing on Sundays in about 4 years or 5 years or less.
Special he is, and that puts this game in the books now. They don't have no more timeouts left.
And Wilmore going for the end zone on 1st and goal, doesn't get there.
I won't be surprised, though, if Coach Clark wants to go ahead and get another touchdown on the board before this game is over. He is known to go ahead and doing this.
He doesn't take his foot off.
Definitely doesn't take his foot off. He wants to continue. He wants his team to play every single minute of the game, despite whether the game is over or not. He wants to make sure his team is playing full throttle. And right now the Cardinals.
Wilmore trying to get into the end zone, plowing his way through, and nothing but a flag goes up.
This might be a penalty flag on the Cardinals. This is coming from the line of scrimmage, looks like. And normally when it's at the line of scrimmage, it most likely means a penalty unless there was like a face mask involved in there. It's going to be a personal foul actually against. It's going to be a personal foul against the Grizzlies, as a matter of fact. It doesn't matter at this point.
No, my batteries are alive.
Doesn't matter at this point, though. The game is pretty much out of reach.
Yep, sure. Well,
Under a minute left, and I think the Cardinals, they're going to go ahead and get this extra touchdown here, and they do.
And Wilmore somersaults into the end zone for a touchdown, Lawndale. That makes it 41-21 with 46.4 seconds left to go in the game.
Be awkward for Jordan Wilmore to only have just one touchdown on the board. He gets multiple touchdowns every single Friday, so well-deserved drive. This is, like I said earlier, this is Jordan Wilmore time. You know, it's late in the game. The game's rather close. You want to go ahead and pull away? Well, you give it to your best running back, Jordan Wilmore. Oh, boy.
Cobbin there fielded the high snap from Martinez and has to eat the ball. So the PAT is no good, so it remains 41-21.
When it comes to a snap, everything needs to be in sync, and the fact that there was a high snap made Alex Cobbin jump up and get the ball, and that just messed up the flow for Axel Perez, so he couldn't even get the ball. But look at them celebrating. They have every right to go ahead and celebrate. You're going on to round 2 of the CIF playoffs, Division 5. They will be playing the winner of Moore Park and Los Altos. And last time I checked, Moore Park was up 28-0 at half. But here's Jordan Wilmore finding his way into the end zone once again, pretty much putting the cherry on top of this game.
And that was his 21st carry of the ball game and his second touchdown of the night. And Alex Perez looking to kick it off back to the Los Osos Grizzlies. And he kicks it high towards the beach.
Axel Perez, gotta be impressed by that leg there.
Absolutely. And also Hannah Moffett. I hope she goes on to have a good career.
She's only a junior, so we get another year out of her. Speaking of Axel, I heard back in elementary school he was the first overall pick for every kickball tournament they had.
Gee, I wonder why. And there you see Cobbin getting sacked by Bishop. Throw over the middle, and it's caught. Should be a first down. Pass is caught by Tedesco.
And to go ahead and confirm, Lou, Moore Park actually wins big over Los Altos. Moore Park wins 42-0 against Los Altos, so that's who Lawndale will be playing next Friday.
Throw over the middle again, but Bach drops it. So Los Altos. So that's out in the San Gabriel Valley. Cabral back to pass. He's going to take off and run, but not too far because Nathaniel Davis was on his back, dragging him down.
Nate Davis, once again, making the play. Nate, the great Davis. Might have made the final play of this game. Nope, they're going to go ahead and try to get one more play off. And they do. Should be last play of the game here.
Cabral throws it in the dirt, and that's going to do it for, oh, we have a timeout called.
No, it is an incomplete pass, so the clock will stop. So we get one more play. This will be the last play for the Grizzlies season. But hats off to the Grizzlies, actually. They were 1-9 last year, missed the playoffs the last 5 years. Getting back into the playoffs.
Holding on the Cardinals. So the Cardinals are in a giving mood with 1.4 seconds left.
Maybe they feel bad for him.
I don't think Travis Clark does. Back to Basses, Cabral looking down over the right sideline does. It's caught by Tedesco, and that's going to do it. So congratulations to the Lawndale Cardinals. They are undefeated this season, now 11-0 after a big 41-21 win over the Los Osos Grizzlies of the Tough Baseline League, and they end their season at 5-6.
Tough they are, Los Osos Grizzlies. They put up a great fight against the Cardinals. Cardinals had to play all 4 quarters throughout the game. Cardinals advance now, being 11-0. They will be playing, as I said a few minutes ago, Moore Park as they beat Los Altos 42-0. So we're in for a showdown for round 2 next week, November 17th.
Oh, I'm sorry, Moore Park beat Los Altos. I thought she said the other way around. Moore Park, that's up around Thousand Oaks, Ventura County-ish. Beautiful area. But for football, that's probably where Lawndale is going to be traveling, to Moore Park after a home game tonight. But we'll see. Was Moore Park on the road or were they at home? Can't tell.
You got some good teams in there as well. Valencia versus Chaparral. Try to look up a score on there. Chaparral is also a team from the inland area. In my sophomore year, Chaparral actually won CIF during my sophomore year, so that might be a team where if Lawndale continues to win, Chaparral continues to win, they might end up for a collision course there. You still got Valencia, Paramount, Woodrow Wilson. It's going to be an exciting playoffs.
Well, Paramount, I would imagine that Wilson, Long Beach Wilson, defeated Paramount in that game. But what a game tonight. A reason to celebrate and a big sigh of relief as the Lawndale Cardinals hadn't been challenged since before league. Again, when they played San Pedro, out San Pedro, all the way back on September the 22nd, almost 2 months ago.
Well, Lou, actually, I got some news about the Chaparral-Valencia game. Chaparral beats Valencia 38-0, and they will actually host Paramount next week. So Paramount actually beat Woodrow Wilson. Yeah.
Wow, okay. Bit of a shocker, at least for me.
So you got Paramount beating Woodrow Wilson and Chaparral beating Valencia convincingly. And winner of that game, winner between Chaparral and Paramount, will face the winner of Lawndale and Moore Park.
Okay. That's in Division 5. And then in the other bracket, now you see Travis Clark. Let's see if we can listen in.
So we can lock it in. We've got to be better with discipline. Like, do you guys all respect me at all?
Yes, Coach.
Do you think I respect you?
Yes, Coach.
So when we're out here at war, you all know I'm gonna be intense. You know I'm gonna be on you. So don't take it personal. You don't talk back. Yes, Coach. You get out there because I'm telling you. I gotta go.
Yo! Turn it on!
Oh, now they're telling DJ Nick to turn it down. Okay. So how are we with our intrepid reporters? We got anybody yet from the Los Osos side? Okay. Well, here we are. And a little bit of a chill. Finally, we get a little bit of a fall chill in the air. And just in time for the Cardinals' big 41-21 win over Los Osos.
It was a great game, believe it or not.
And why don't we go over to Tolly, who has a very special guest. And they're just about, they're untangling some things. So as soon as they can learn how to hold things and turn things on. But we're going to get some Lusinger score. How about this? Moreno Valley 35-15 over Lusinger. So the Olympian season ends in football, and we can just hope for basketball. That's coming up. Now let's go down to Tolly.
I have kicker number 12 on the Grizzlies, Hannah Moffitt. Weren't expecting a blonde beauty out of that helmet, I'm sure. I know tonight may have not been the outcome you were expecting, but being a female kicker, How special is it to play with 85 of these guys tonight?
It's really fun, like the excitement that comes out of it and just all the energy is great.
Do they give you a hard time? Do they treat you like one of them?
Yeah, they treat me like one of them, definitely.
What made you decide to play football?
I didn't want to be in PE, basically.
One way to get out of it, of course. And then I know that you said you've been in with this program 3 years. Now this is a new year, new coach. Obviously the season has come to an end. How has it changed over the last 3 years?
Oh my gosh, like our energy's changed, just our players, like their mindsets and all of that.
And then one last question to other girls that might be interested in kicking. What kind of advice would you give them?
Just basically do it. Don't be scared. Like there's nothing to be scared of.
I have to ask, are you scared when you're out there? I've seen those guys get close to you.
I was, but now it's like I'm chill with it.
Thank you so much, Hannah. Back to you, Lou.
She's chill with it. She looks like a surfer girl to me, but all that long blonde hair and the way she talks, real soft spoken. But boy, look at her running all that gear. She can move.
Yeah.
They should put her at the wide receiver.
Very, very impressive. I'll tell you that from Hannah. And she's only a junior, so Los Osos, it's not too far away from my house. I'll tell you that. I might actually just go up to a game next year just to go ahead and watch her kick. She was awesome tonight, and she gave Axel a run for his money, where we saw Axel Perez, he tried to prove me wrong by kicking the ball out of this field today.
He sure did, and almost made another field into the uprights from the kickoff standpoint. But this was, again, the toughest test that the Cardinals have had at home this year. And there's a lot, you've heard that serious post-game talk by Travis Clark was very serious. There's no celebration down there, that's for sure.
We've grown accustomed to Coach Clark never being satisfied after every win, especially, you think about it in the playoffs, maybe he might loosen up. Nope. I think he's thinking big right now, and he wants to see his team perform better. And we did see a little bit of undisciplined football from Lawndale, from both sides of the ball, jumping early, whether it was encroachment, whether it was false starts, holding penalties, plays that Coach Clark definitely emphasized on, that we cannot make these kind of plays in the playoffs. And it's only going to get tougher here, where next week they play Moore Park, who just blew the brakes off of Los Altos 42-0. So they definitely must not come into that game being undisciplined.
And that's true. And as we get ready for another interview on the field, and just want to say okay, well, we lost a guy. But Jordan Wilmore ended up with 31 carries on the night. And check that, 21 carries on the night, 165 yards and 2 touchdowns. And also he caught a pass for 22 yards. So not a bad night for Mr. Wilmore. And let's go down to Sebastian, who has a special guest.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I'm here with Coach Clark. And, Coach, after this first playoff win, I know you were just talking to your team about discipline, and I know you were on that sideline just talking to them about the mistakes that they were making. And I know you're happy with the win, but I know you felt like they could have done better as well.
Oh, absolutely. I talked about this all the time, that we've got to be mentally tough. And we kind of made some mental mistakes tonight, which is, in my opinion, with the victory is a good thing, because now I can teach my kids something moving forward. It takes discipline, man, in the playoffs. You don't look at a record when a team comes to your program. I was talking to Coach earlier. They're a 5-5 team, but if you watch them on tape, they're easily 7-3, 8-2. They are a solid program coming out of the baseline league, playing against some great programs like Upland, Rancho Cucamonga. So they come from a great football area. And I knew it was going to be, very tough. They're bigger than us up front. I think it was a great test for my offensive line. But I'm really proud of my kids for sticking in there and getting a victory at home. And I'm glad we're still, around to play for week 2.
And I know you stressed to your kids that, this time around it doesn't get easier. The only team to put up 20 against you guys, or over 20, was San Pedro this year, and now you're in the playoffs, and you talked about it getting tougher, and you saw that tonight, but you still got the victory. And just talk about how sometimes, guys can, get caught up in the wins and being undefeated all season, and sometimes you think that can go into a playoff game.
I've never gone into the playoffs undefeated. I don't know if I like it. We're 1-0 right now. 10-0 means nothing. That's over. That season's over. We're in a whole different season right now. I told my sophomores are juniors, my freshmen are sophomores, my juniors are seniors. So, it's a whole new season. We're 1-0 right now. We're not looking past anybody. Obviously, it's one and done, or lose and go home. So, we're going to focus next week, see who we have, go back to the drawing boards, do what we do, get better, get mentally better, work hard, and try to come out here next week and pulling off another victory. Tonight is special for me. It's for like my mentor Norm Lacey, resting in peace. He's always told me about these rounds. I was fortunate enough to win a couple of CIF championships with him under his tutelage, and first round is always the tough one, and it doesn't get easier. So I'm just glad we got out of round 1, and I'm looking forward to going to round 2.
Well, Coach, good luck to you in the second round.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Back to you guys. I'll be coming back with another interview with Jalen Hamler.
All right, thank you very much, Sebastian, and good job and good words by Travis Clark there. And just a very, very passionate young man is Travis Clark. And you can tell that he's not going to let his foot off the pedal for anything.
He is definitely not, and it's just what I said earlier about him never being satisfied. And I knew that this game, this win, he wasn't really going to be fully happy about it just because, keyword, discipline. He likes disciplined football, and his team did create a lot of penalties, and where Coach Clark, he's going to want to go ahead and work on that following the next game against Moore Park.
All right, let's go back down to Sebastian.
Thanks a lot, guys. I'm here with the quarterback for the Cardinals, Jalen Hamler. And Jalen, you went out there, had yourself a game tonight, 3 touchdowns. Just talk about what it means to be in battle with these guys finally in the playoffs. And Coach just talked about you guys went undefeated. He said that means nothing. You guys are now 1-0.
Yeah, and the playoffs is a different atmosphere. And we got to come out with a different approach every week. Hard work and practice, and we got to get the job done continuously every week. We want to win a CIF, and hopefully we could do that.
Every week, you guys come out with something to prove, no matter who the opponent is, and having a lot of the guys on your team that can get the job done on defense and offense. Just talk about how easier that makes your job as a quarterback.
It makes it a lot easier, when you have guys on your team that can come out and get the job done. You have to worry about this happening and that happening. We're a great team. We practice hard, and I'm glad my team gets the job done.
I see you got that busted lip. It looked like it was a physical game tonight. A couple battle scars there, huh?
Yeah, I got it. When my helmet came off right there, it's all right. I'm going to knock that off. We're going to come back next week and hopefully get the W at home.
Good luck to you next game, man.
Thank you.
All right. Jalen Hamler, back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Sebastian. Good job again tonight. And just looking around for Tolly Anderson, and don't think that she has anything coming up right now. But Darius and I have to figure out who the player of the game is and who the tip of the hat is. So while we're crunching our numbers, why don't you take a time out, and we'll take a time out just to catch our breath on CityTV Sports.
Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're really good at it. Yeah, I get it.
Back here at Lawndale High School, we're a big win, 41-21 Cardinals over the Grizzlies, Los Osos, in the CIF Ford Southern Section Championships, Division 5, and they win, moving on to the second round. And who will they play next week?
Yes, they will be playing Moore Park, who just got their big win over Los Altos, 42-0. So they're a team to not mess with. They're in up there in the valley, I believe, along with Thousand Oaks in there. It's going to be a very, very big game, another tough opponent, and it's only going to get tougher from here on out, Lou. It's the playoffs, so it's going to be a survival of the fittest over here.
So we're going to see next week if the lesson sank into the Cardinals tonight, where, like you say, it ain't getting any tougher.
It's not going to get any
easier.
Yes, it's not going to get any easier, yes, it's not going to get any easier for the Cardinals. What we saw from Coach Clark not happy about the discipline from the team today. A lot of penalties, which we saw, and it's very bizarre on our end too. We saw a lot of undisciplined football from the Cardinals, jumping on both sides of the ball, whether it was false starts, whether it was encroachments, nothing but penalties that we kept seeing. Even unnecessary roughness on the quarterback. The defense gave up a lot of yards to Los Osos that actually kept them in this game. So I think Coach Clark is going to go ahead and use that as an example, and he's going to want to emphasize that during practice this week. This is the playoffs. You cannot go ahead and have these many mistakes and penalties against these kind of teams.
That's right. One, maybe two of those penalties were on third down, on third down, and led to a touchdown. At least one of those led to a score. But now it's time for our player of the game. Well, actually, let me go over some numbers first that led us to our choices for player of the game and tip of the hat. Jalen Hamler, was 6 out of 8 for 121 yards and a touchdown in the air, 10 carries for 69 yards and 3 touchdowns. So Jordan Wilmore wasn't really getting the ball going, even though he had 165 yards and 31 carries and 2 touchdowns. It was an un-Wilmore-like night.
It was very, very bizarre to go ahead and see where Jordan Wilmore only ended up with 2 touchdowns in this game. This guy, the kid, he has 2 touchdowns at the start of the game for the most part, and for some reason every single game this year that we've been covering Lawndale. So the fact that Jordan Wilmore, this is sort of an off game, and he had, 165 yards, you say?
Yeah.
The fact that that's an off game, that just tells you how dominant this kid is.
That's right. Averaging over 200 yards a game, 2,009 yards coming in, and 29 touchdowns coming into tonight's game in the regular season. But our player of the game, Jalen Hamler, he put the Cardinals on his back and plowed them into the end zone 4 times tonight. And let's take a look to see what Jalen Hamler did tonight on the field.
You got to go ahead and credit Los Osos for circling Jordan Wilmore, but right here, they circled Jordan Wilmore, but they forgot about Jalen Hamler. A beautiful play call design from Coach Clark on the quarterback keeper for his first rushing touchdown. And here's a quarterback sneak. Jalen Hamler using his size behind his beast of an offensive line, that beefy offensive line, pushing him in for his second rushing touchdown of the game. Right here, you can see we're starting to get into a groove. And here is after
with the big block.
Exactly. And here's after our favorite play of the game. It was a big 3rd and 16 where Jalen Hamler used his arm for the completion. They got the first down, and right after that, he keeps it, does a quarterback keeper, comes in for a touchdown for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game.
Led by Jordan Wilmore with the block. And then he had that passing touchdown as well. And the completion was to our tip of the hat tonight, and that is Anthony Williams III with 4 receptions, 95 yards, and a touchdown. And this one, nothing prettier than Anthony Williams, and our tip of the hat for Anthony Williams. So congratulations to Rufus Washington's tip of the hat, Anthony Williams III, and also all of the Cardinals. Axel Perez also had another terrific night, 5 out of 6 in PATs. And, well, the most important thing is the Cardinals move on to face Moore Park in the Division 5 playoffs in CIF Southern Section, and they're undefeated.
They're undefeated, and it's going to go ahead, and they want to keep this. They want to keep this chain rolling. Coach Clark said this is going to be they're 1-0. But they're in a situation where, hey, you lose and you go home. So each game they're playing like if it's their last. He's telling all the juniors, hey, you're seniors now. All the underclassmen, now you're upperclassmen. Coach Clark, I'm pretty sure that he's going to have this team well disciplined now. He's going to coach them up, and he is definitely going to emphasize making sure you keep your head in the game during the game. But we have a special guest here, I see.
That's right. Okay, so what was the final score?
It was 41-21.
41-21. Who won?
Lawndale did.
All right. So once again, the final score from the Cardinals nest of why don't we say this? And for Tolly Anderson, Sebastian Spencer, and the terrific award-winning crew led by Tom Strickfaden, along with Darius Jackson and Ashley Calloway. You're not from the Callaways, are you? No. Okay. I'm Lou Stowers saying until next time, the final score 41-21 Cardinals over the Grizzlies. So long.
Yes.